This Lake TV Game of the Week is brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, Burger Smokehouse in California, Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Clark's Tire in Versailles, Sunrise Beach and Camdenton, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Sunrise Beach, Budget Blinds in Laurie, Advantage Marine in Sunrise Beach, Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie, Power Customs in Gravois Mills, S&K Customs in Versailles, and Spielers Incorporated in California. Now the pregame show brought to you by Burger Smokehouse in California. Here's Will and Matt.
Welcome to the Burger Smokehouse pregame show on Lake TV. It's our Friday night game of the week, and it might be our most appealing matchup of the 2015 season yet, as the 3-3 Eldon Mustangs play host to the 3-3 visiting Osage Indians. And as far as rivalries are considered at the high school level, this may be the most fierce one you will see. This is your Burger Smokehouse pregame show, and we're going to talk about both teams, what they've been able to accomplish this year. We'll talk about what both coaches bring to both programs, as well as preview both of our spotlight players from both teams. All of that after this on the Burger Smokehouse pregame show.
If you're looking for a new tri-tune, see me and take advantage of our price on a new Cypress K tri-tune at Advantage Marine.
Need service? We specialize in servicing these stern drives and Mercury outboards. Our factory-trained technicians can handle almost any problem, no matter how big.
And if you need parts, see me. With our huge inventory, I can help you find parts that are hard to find.
Take advantage of Advantage Marine's 50-plus years meeting your boating needs at the lake. See our lineup of new Cypress K tri-tunes. For sale, service, and parts.
Our family's here to serve you.
Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back.
Mention this Chances Are commercial on Lake TV and receive $2 off the appetizer of your choice.
Back here on your Burger Smokehouse pregame show, William Holtz, Matt Wamser, and Maddie. Eldon Mustangs, Osage Indians. What a rivalry we've got tonight.
Yeah, after last week's game, I'm really looking forward to getting a good competitive game out here. I have a feeling these two teams are, you just mentioned, the most competitive matchup we might see all season. So I'm looking for a barn burner, hopefully a lot of scoring, a lot of good defense. So I'm ready for Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, over the course of this storied rivalry, they've played 70 times, and Eldon holds a 35-25 advantage in that one. And so Osage, they've lost 10 more than they've won, but this is a different team, obviously, than it has been the last 70 years under the direction of head coach Devin Johnson in his second year. Last year, what the Indians were able to accomplish was just awesome. They went 10-3. They ended up losing in the state quarterfinals to the Monette Cubs in a game that they really felt like they could have won. Move on to the semifinals. You never know what happens once you get to that level. And on the season, we said they're 3-3, and they're really starting to come around. They got a sophomore quarterback who is really learning the system, learning to play at the varsity level, and he's made some mistakes this year. But what you like about the Osage team is their defense. This team has more sacks than anyone else in the Tri-County Conference. They just swarm to the ball, and what you really love about them is their tackling. This might be the most sound tackling team defensively we've seen yet this year. And if you talk about the Osage Indians, you have to talk about their head coach. We already mentioned him, Devin Johnson, in only his second season. He holds an overall mark of 13-6, already taken to the state quarterfinals, and he thinks that this is the prime time for this team to make a run. Weird thing about the Osage Indians, if you watched them last year, Austin Riley, their starting quarterback, you thought maybe Dylan Riley might take over, or Ian Riley, younger brother, might step in and take over at quarterback. Well, hold on just a minute. You get into OTAs, off-season training, you get into the season for practice, and the young man who happens to be our spotlight player of the game for the Osage Indians, our spotlight player of the game brought to you tonight by Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Missouri, is Zach Wheeler. You know, he's 6'4", 180, and you can't teach size, and he has that. He has size, 6'4", 180 on the season. One thing we'd like to see him improve on tonight, he's only completed about 50% of his passes, but he doesn't hold on to the football, and that's why you see on the screen right there, 10 picks. And you know that with time he's going to learn to hold on to it, maybe take a few sacks, live to see another down, but he also has 11 touchdowns. He's rushed for a couple of scores, and I actually think tonight he has an opportunity to really torch this Eldon secondary. So that's Zach Wheeler, your spotlight player of the game, and we look for him to do big things. Now on the other side of the football, you have the Eldon Mustangs. Matt, what do you got on the Mustangs?
Well, the Mustangs, they had a great week last week. They were in Versailles last week. They came out sharp offensively, defensively. They basically dominated that game start to finish. So coach is looking to kind of keep that momentum going. He really had them focused, rallying to the ball, making sound tackles. Really had a good game last week and really dominated the Versailles Tigers last week. So this week we're looking at the spotlight player. We've got Levi Shin, again, our spotlight player from last week. He's 6'1", 173 pounds, the running back for the Eldon Mustangs. He's got a total of 773 yards rushing on the ground, 10 TDs, as well as 3 receiving touchdowns as well. So they like to utilize him out of the backfield, maybe swing him out wide, throw him the football. This man is a beast. Shin last week had a great game, just was running all over the Versailles Tigers and really showed to me this guy is a beast to be reckoned with. He handles on both sides of the ball, on offense, on defense. He's the team leader. So look for him tonight to shine, really have a good game if this Eldon Mustang wants to come out here with a victory.
Yeah, and not only was he able to find the end zone 3 times, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, converted on a 51-yard field goal. That's good for 9th best in Missouri State high school history. That's astronomical. 51-yard field goal. You see NFL kickers miss field goals way shorter than that all the time. And if you watched last night's game, you saw the Pittsburgh Steelers end up losing to the Ravens because Sean Sweezum missed 2 big field goals late in the game, 1 from 39, 1 from 42, and then he didn't even get a shot in overtime. Mike Tomlin chose to go for it on 4th down, got stuffed twice, and the Ravens ended up winning that ball game, and you feel for a guy like that. But, hey, why not give Levi Shin an opportunity, Coach Tomlin, because the young man hit on a 51-yard field goal. So when you talk about these teams, they're very similar because they're very competitive. Now, where the advantage lies tonight is going to be Eldon. On the offense and defensive line, they're way bigger than Osage. And so I talked with Coach Johnson this week, Matt, and he told me if we're going to have a shot tonight, we're going to have to find a way to outman them, and it's not going to be our size. It's going to have to be that first move off the line of scrimmage and get them off their feet. If you get them off the balls of your feet, you can open up some holes, have an opportunity to spring Brandon Pierce, running back for Osage, and also get Zach Wheeler out in space. Because as much as I've liked this kid in the pocket, Zach Wheeler showed me he can also throw on the move, and he can also make some good decisions with his legs. And we are extremely excited about seeing what this homecoming rivalry has in store. A couple of milestones to keep an eye on tonight, Maddie. Levi Shin is just 83 rushing yards away from hitting 2,000 yards in his career, and he's also just 5 extra points away from hitting 100 for his career. Eldon Mustangs struggled over the last probably 15 years. Well, come in Shannon Jolly in his 7th year. He's under 500, but you look back to 2013, 2014, back-to-back district titles. That was the first time that happened to an Eldon Mustang football team since 1992. Now, all these awesome stats being provided by Eldon advertiser, sports writer Tom Collins. That man is a lock for the Missouri Sports Writers Hall of Fame. He's been there. It's his 20th year, and if there's anything you need to know about not just Eldon, but high school sports around the area, he's a guru. And I will tell you, if that man doesn't get in the Missouri Sports Writers Hall of Fame, that's as big of a snub as Pete Rose not being in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. So this is your Burger Smokehouse pregame show. We're going to be back. We're going to shoot the breeze a little bit, talk about what we can anticipate from both teams to start out the game, and that's after a message. You're watching the Burger Smokehouse pregame show on LakeTV.
Welcome to Burger's Smokehouse. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Burger's Smokehouse invites everyone to come and visit our unique visitor center. See all the amazing museum-quality displays highlighting the seasons of the Ozarks and learn about meat curing and the history of Burger's Smokehouse. Peruse our factory country store where we offer the largest selection of cured and smoked meats found anywhere. While you're here, grab a smoked meat sandwich and enjoy our video tour in the Good Old Days Theater to see how we produce our famous products. Our 4-generation family business has combined time-tested curing traditions with modern meat processing innovations to become the largest specialty cured and smoked meat processor in the nation. Burger Smokehouse is nestled deep in the rolling Ozark Hills near California, Missouri, just 20 miles north of Eldon on Highway 87. We're just a short drive from anywhere in the lake area. Just follow the road signs to Burgers Smokehouse. You can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Visit our website at smokehouse.com. Burgers Smokehouse, your trusted provider of cured and smoked meat since 1952.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Welcome back to the Burgers Smokehouse pregame show. This is Lake TV Sports. William Holtz, Matt Wamser, and we are at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri. And this one, we already talked about it being a rivalry, Matt, but a little bit of bad blood between these two teams. I was on Twitter late last night, and I'm not going to mention any names, but one of the Osage players says, I don't normally talk to Eldon graduates, but when I do, I order fries. So you get the sense that these guys are out to cut, out for blood. They could care less if they offend someone else. And, obviously Coach Johnson probably wouldn't be happy to hear about a tweet like that. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy, but tell you what, these kids are ready. And I remember, I went to Eldon until I was a junior in high school, halfway through, moved away, and this isn't a crazy rivalry. I'm not sure why it is, but I was taught as an Eldon Mustang, you hate the Osage Indians, and that carries true today. I was down talking with the Osage Indians student section, and I said, guys, why do you hate Eldon so much? And they said, well, we really don't know. No one in our generation has any idea, and that's because it stems from a long time ago. These teams have played 70 times, with, of course, Eldon holding the 35-25 advantage. And I couldn't be more excited about seeing two teams that we feel are very evenly matched tonight. So we do have national anthem. So we're going to honor our country and enjoy this rendition from the Eldon Marching Band. Outstanding rendition. The Eldon Mustangs marching band under the direction of Ashley Hanks. Actually, she was my math teacher as a junior in high school, and I think she sent me to the office a record 8 times through half a junior year. Obviously, we do better now. William grew up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So anyway, Matt, you talk about high school football around the area, and this year we really have had some blowouts. I mean, you take away the Osage home opener against Moberly. That was a 14-0 game, tied 0-0 at the half before Austin Riley took the second half kickoff back 86 yards to the house. They would end up winning that ball game, as I think it was Brandon Pierce also scored a touchdown in that game. But so besides that game, we've just seen blowouts, and I really anticipate a close one tonight. So we're just about 5.5 minutes away from kickoff. You're watching the Burger Smokehouse pregame show on Lake TV. We'll be right back after this.
Have you met the Configurator? It's a new way to see what a new set of wheels would look like on your vehicle. Log on to ClarkTireCo.com and look for the Configurator. Select your vehicle and start searching. And while you're there, remember that besides wheels and tires, Clark Tire can service and repair most anything you can drive. Tires, wheels, service, repair, including exhaust. Clark Tire, 3 locations around the lake: Camdenton, Sunrise Beach, and Versailles.
Polylift Boat Lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I said that. What, are you not listening to your color? I didn't listen to you. Hey, man. I didn't even hear you say it. This guy's sure you said it? Back here on LakeTV, and the Eldon Mustangs just enter the field, and it is a sold-out crowd. I mean, there's people everywhere, of course, homecoming here in Eldon, and it's the Indians. So fantastic scheduling by activities director Steve Henderson, and throughout the night you will hear that golden voice in the booth next to us, Dan Herron. He's been doing the PA announcing for the Mustangs as long as I can remember. The longtime volleyball coach at Eldon, had some serious success. Awesome history teacher. That man lives, breathes, and eats history. And one thing he turned me on to, fantasy football. When I was in his class, he kind of explained how it worked. And now a 3-time champion in 6 years. I'm not going to say he has a lot to do with that. I'd like the credit for that because, I mean, I might be the best fantasy football coach in the history of fantasy football, but I'm going to give him a little credit. So, see on the sidelines, just an awesome venue. I think it's about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years old. Victor Field here. This is the high school track. They used to play down the way a little bit, right across from the house I used to live in. But this is a beautiful facility. They really do a nice job here in Eldon. And they had the tailgaters out early. As I parked my car and got here, about 5:15, they were already out in full force tailgating, barbecuing, burgers, bratwurst, and they're nice. I mean, they're very hospitable. They offered me some food. And had I not stopped at our sponsor, Chances Are, on the way and got a chicken wrap, I probably would have taken them up because I was hungry prior to that chicken wrap. So, captains getting prepared to meet at center field for the coin toss. And, Matt, I want to note, in all 6 broadcasts so far this year, all 6 teams that have won the toss have deferred and elected to take in the second half. Now, I've always preferred that. I think that's a smart move. I touched on that. You know, if you don't win the toss and you end up having to get the ball first, that's great. You want to go down and score. But the perk of getting it to start the second half is it doesn't matter how bad the first half goes. In the locker room, you at least know you're coming out, you're going to start with the football. And in retrospect, on the other side of things, if you do have a good half, it's even better because you know you start with the football. So we'll see what happens. Whoever wins the toss, just interesting. I was on the field talking with Tom Collins, and when he was telling me the stats about Eldon, how Levi Shin is only 83 yards away from eclipsing the 2,000-yard mark in his career. Obviously, it's an incredible number. I mean, that's an average of 500 yards a season, which is really solid because most kids don't play as a freshman and sophomore. Of course, Levi, an exception. He got some time as a sophomore and then, of course, took over full-fledged last year as a junior, but he has put up huge numbers, just about 800 yards on the season, 13 total touchdowns, 10 on the ground. And one thing you got to talk about if you talk about Levi Shin, as many good things as there are to talk about, he does have an issue holding on to the football. And so he's going to have to secure the football tonight because Osage, like we talked about, they're very, very sound when it comes to tackling, and they're very football savvy. Coach Johnson runs a drill in his practices that is just about stripping the football. And so Levi Shin probably knows that. I know Coach Jolly, one of the better high school football coaches in the state of Missouri, he knows he has his kids prepared. And I asked Coach Jolly, of course he used to coach at Osage, and I asked him this week, I said, so being homecoming and being the Osage Indians, it's a bigger deal, right? And he goes, no. He's like, just like any other game, just another game. And so all coaches say that, but you really got to be honest. This game's bigger than any game either team's played in this year. It's a rivalry. It's homecoming with both teams 3-3, so much on the line. We're going to go to one more commercial break. When we come back, we've got kickoff, and we'll talk about the Tri-County Conference standings and what both teams look like in the Tri-County Conference.
Power Customs in Gravois Mills manufactures and sells firearms and aftermarket accessories worldwide. Power Customs also offers a state-mandated class in conceal and carry. It is taught by retired LA County Officer Art Tormolin. Art will teach you how to handle your firearm safely, how to load and unload, precautions you need to know in the home and on the street. And you'll be able to actually fire your pistol on Power Customs Outdoor Shooting Range. Power Customs, putting your firearm safety in our hands.
So what's important to you is protection.
It's a new look,
a new location,
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home
and discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family-owned, Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln, and Sedalia.
Back here on LakeTV and Tri-County Conference, both teams sit, and it's the California Pintos who sit atop the conference. They're tied with Blair Oaks, both teams 4-0 in the conference. Of course, Blair Oaks is yet to lose this season. They did get a scare from Eldon early in the year, and if it wasn't for some big turnovers, I really think Eldon comes away with a victory in that game. And then underneath that, you got the Osage Indians and Eldon Mustangs dead tied, 2-2, both teams in the Tri-County Conference. And so that goes to show you how much more important this game is, because not only is it the rivalry, not only is it homecoming, but they're tied at 2-2 in the conference standings. So, and I don't know who won the toss or who's going to receive, but both teams, it looks like Osage is going to receive the kick to start the half. So we'll get to see Levi Shin in action very early.
Listen to this crowd getting loud, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, it's an outstanding crowd. We talked about it. Matt, onside kick to start the game? No, probably not.
I don't think just yet. I think they're going to just let this one ride and let these fans get behind them on defense here to start the football game.
And we're underway. End-over-end kick by Shin. Fielded inside the 5 by Riley. He's outside, has a block being pursued. First man misses. Riley's across the 20. Uh-oh. Before being hit, and he's still on his feet. He'll be pushed out of bounds shy of the 40-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 37-yard line. And Nick Riley, good start, but we do have laundry on the field, and that's probably going to be in the vicinity of an illegal block in the back or a hold. Yeah, it's a hold on the Mustangs, or sorry, on the Indians. So all for none. So the penalty scoots the Indians back inside their 20-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 12, it looks like. So Eldon will take that. 11:50. We're just 10 seconds underway. And it is a Tri-County Conference showdown. California at Blair Oaks tonight. That's a big game. Got to keep an eye on top of the conference. Inside give, no. It's going to be the keeper. Good play on the outside. That's quarterback Wheeler on the hold, and I thought he gave an inside give to Dreyer, but he kept it as 3 yards on first down, so 2nd and 3. The throw over the middle, and that's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, Brenton McLaughlin. McLaughlin comes into the game with 20 catches on the year for over 300 yards and 4 scores, and able to haul that one in. That's a nice play by Owen Tam, knocking that one up. We'll talk about Owen Tam throughout the broadcast, one of the hearts and souls of this Eldon Mustangs team. Ball's on the turf. Wheeler picks it up, pitches it back to Pierce, but the Mustangs are all over it, and on 3rd and 7, the defense makes a stand, and they're going to give the ball right away to their offense after a 3 and out.
Yeah, big penalty to start the football game on the kickoff. The Indians already had a little bit of momentum, looking to pick the ball up at the 35-yard line. The penalty brings them all the way back to their own 12-yard line to start the drive. So a little bit of a shot in the foot to start the football game, a 3 and out, so a great start for this Mustang defense.
So Russell Williams into punt. Good looking kick. Shin back to receive. It's a little shy and takes an Osage bounce, dies right at midfield. So the Mustangs are going to start with excellent field position here on their first offensive series, and we'll see if Mr. Hendricks can't get the Mustangs in business.
Yeah, great starting field position for the Mustangs here. Look for Levi Shin, our spotlight player of the game, to get the football here to start the game and see how they can rush behind this Mustang offensive line.
Now, although Shin had a heyday a week ago in Versailles, this is a much better defense than the Versailles Tigers. No disrespect to Coach Silver's team, but you love what this team's able to get done, and they're led by linebacker Austin Magnuson, and there's a busted play as Hendrickson able to handle the snap, and that's going to be recovered at the 44, so that's a 6-yard loss on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 16. So both teams struggling to hold on to the football here in the early going. We've seen it on the ground a couple of times already. We're joined in the booth by Coach Dylan Davis with the Eldon Mustangs, and he's up here giving us his expertise, so we'll get plenty of information from him throughout the broadcast. Inside give goes to Kidwell, and he's upended and taken down across the 45, and that's number 54, Magnuson. He came into the game with an amazing 70 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, and nice job by him to wrap up the ball carrier. So 3rd and 14 now. Ball placed at the 46-yard line. We'll see
big
what
game
Hendricks
like this,
can do.
maybe a little bit of the jitters getting in. A little slow start for both the teams offensively. Got a long 3rd down here for the Mustangs.
Hendricks gives it to Shannon. It's the pulling play, and he's going to be taken down from behind. Nice play, gets a few yards. That's Jacob Mason with the stop at the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and 5. We'll see if the Mustangs elect to go for it here.
With great field position, that's given them this opportunity. So that penalty to start the football game is playing even more of a factor into
good
this
point,
first couple
Matt.
of series.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you're backed up in your own end on 4th and 5. You punt the football, but in Osage territory, I mean, looks like the Eldon Mustangs will keep their offense on the field and go for it. Hendricks will line up under center. He's got Kidwell and Shen split in the backfield. Same play, it's the pull. And Shen's got some good yardage. He's running away from Pierce, the 20, inside the 10, and he's hauled down inside the 5-yard line by Brandon Pierce. It's Levi Shen on the run. He has 43 yards and a Mustang first down. Wow.
Yeah, back-to-back plays. They saw that it worked pretty well on 3rd down. Picked up a big chunk, about 12 yards on the first play. They run it again. They pick up about 40 yards down to the Indians' 3-yard line.
So on 1st and goal, Kidwell keeps his legs moving. He's into the end zone for the Mustang touchdown. In just 3.5 minutes into the ballgame, the Eldon Mustangs a 3-and-out, and they march 50 yards into the house. And it's a touchdown run on the legs of Trenton Kidwell. We saw him score a couple times a week ago. And, man, this Eldon rushing game is incredible. They came in averaging over 370 yards a game on the ground. That sounds almost like a Madden number. Well, it is. This team has seen incredible success on the ground, and they start off just where they finished a week ago in Versailles. A hold by Hendricks. The extra point is up, and Shen converts. So now he's just 4 extra points away from 100. So 3.5 minutes in the ballgame. The Eldon Mustangs, at their annual homecoming, lead the Osage Indians 7-0. We'll be right back after this.
When that deer in the headlights lands on your hood, you need S&K Customs Auto Body and Collision Center in Versailles. S&K handles everything from dings to fender benders to major collisions to custom work. S&K handles all insurance claims, and our work is backed up with a lifetime guarantee. Got deductible? We pay up to $500 of your deductible. See Steve or Karen for details. We also fill propane tanks, from gas grills to RVs. S&K Auto Body and Collision Center, located right behind Citizens Bank in Versailles.
Back here on Lake TV, and if you missed it, it was a Trenton Kidwell touchdown from 3 yards out on 1st and goal, set up by 52 yards rushing by Levi Shen with just 2 carries. And I'll tell you what, he was 83 yards away from 2,000. Now he's just 30 yards away from that 2,000-yard mark. We're going to keep an eye on that tonight.
The Mustangs come out hot running the football. That's their go-to thing. They love the ground game. And already another rushing touchdown here tonight.
So Shen now set to boot. It's a good one. And it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. He does that fairly regularly. So Osage has it 1st and 10 at their own 20. We'll see if their offense can't get something going here after a very stagnant first series.
Yeah, 3-and-out to start the football game for the Indians. But, you know, a couple of weeks ago when we covered them in Versailles, Wheeler had a little bit of trouble holding on to the football. I'd like to see if that plays into tonight's game. Big game here, a little bit of nerves. See if he can secure the football and not give the Mustangs any turnovers.
Wheeler, the inside give, and nothing doing. I mean, the Mustangs just all over it. That's Lemon in on the stop. Riley, the inside give. He loses a yard, I believe. No, they're going to spot him at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 now. Here's the pitch. It's going to be an end around. It's going to be a wheel pass down the sideline, and he had him wide open. Brandon Pierce was stringing up the sideline. Edwards had a wide open receiver as Jason Edwards. Tell you what, that's a missed opportunity for the Indians because that was a nice play, very well designed, but not executed, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. You can see the frustration out of the Osage sideline as that one sailed out of bounds. 3rd and 10 now. Under center is Wheeler. He gives it to Pierce on the give, and it's stopped in the backfield. Graham Bockham, the All-Stater a year ago, he leads the way, and that's the anchor of the Mustangs line on both sides, and he is just a force to be reckoned with. And he stops that in its tracks. That's 4th and 10 now. So back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Indians to start this game. Not what Coach Johnson had in mind.
Yeah, great start by this Mustangs defense. This Mustangs team came out ready to play tonight. Homecoming here at Victory Field, Eldon, Missouri. And these guys are ready to play some football.
Edwards now, the kick is fielded inside the 50 at the 47-yard line. So Eldon, for the second consecutive possession, starts with outstanding field position, and that's because of their defense. Their defense has been just fantastic through 2 series. They've only allowed, they've allowed a -4 yards through 2 series.
Yeah, great start, and you can see where that's playing into this battle of field position. So now the second possession for the Mustangs with great field position. So look for them to keep the pedal on the metal and take it to this Indians defense.
So split backfield, we're so used to seeing that from the Mustangs this season. Hendricks under center. Inside give to Kidwell. He lowers his head and gets very little to nothing. They're going to give him a couple of yards on the first down give. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Matt, tomorrow the Versailles Apple Fest. Be an awesome event. Turkey Fest a week ago here in Eldon, and that's pretty neat, but the Turkey Fest does take a back seat to the Apple Fest. It brings in about 3 times the amount of vendors into Versailles. Say between 18 and 25,000 people come through Versailles during the Apple Fest. So 2nd and 8 now. 6:44 left in the first quarter. Hendricks to give to Shin on the pull. Bockham with a nice bleed block, and Shin's down to the 45 before being taken down by Dreyer. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I really like to watch Shin running with the football. I love the stiff arm move. You see, as soon as he grabs the ball, he's got his arm ready to fight off a blocker and pick up whatever yardage he can.
Yeah, it's a big 3rd down and 3 for the Indians defense. The inside give, and they're going to get the first down. That's Kidwell. Trenton Kidwell, he is just outstanding. He takes down to the 36-yard line. That's another Mustang first down.
Tackled by number 13, Nick Riley.
Good strong run right up the gut. Just kind of put his foot in his turf. Kidwell did. And charged right through the hole. Good acceleration through the hole. First down for the Mustangs.
Kidwell came in. He had 588 yards and 9 touchdowns coming in this ballgame. He had his 10th earlier on the night, and he's just having an awesome season. Here's the give to Shannon. That's that pull play again. They pull the guard outside to lead block, and Osage really has little answer for that. Shin gets 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, you see him keep going back to the well on that play. It seems to be working for him tonight. They like to run the ball over the right side of that offensive line, and it seems to be working well to start the football game.
Yeah, well, you've heard the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and so far the Mustangs just having their way, eating up big chunks of yardage play after play. So 2nd and 7 now, 5:20 left here in the first quarter. The give, that's Hedrick now, upended and taken down after a short gain. Magnuson in on the stop. He takes a shove from Garrett Scrivener. Kemp in on the tackle as well. Kemp has 75 tackles coming into this ballgame. He's an outstanding linebacker. He was a second-team All-State, first-team All-District in conference a season ago, and he's had an outstanding senior campaign. So 3rd and 5 now. The Mustangs are 2 for 2 so far on 3rd downs. And that one is stopped, so that's going to bring up a fourth down. I believe that was Kidwell. So we'll see what Mustangs do here on 4th and 2. Sorry, actually the Mustangs did miss a third down conversion on their last possession, but they were able to convert on 4th and 5. So 4th and 3 now. We'll see if the Mustangs don't keep it on the ground. They got him to jump. That's Kemp on 4th and 3, and he knows it. Senior leader on defense, and Hendricks, the hard count, gets them to jump. That's a big penalty.
As a result of the penalty, we have a first down.
Absolutely beautiful tonight. Beautiful night tonight here in Eldon. It's our second football game of the actual fall season, and turning out to be a beauty.
That's a huge penalty. So both penalties by Osage in this game. You know, the illegal blocking back on the opening kickoff, that cost them 29 yards of field position, and that cost them an opportunity to get their defense off the field. First down now, they give to Kidwell, makes the first guy miss, and he's dragged down by Russell Williams inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. And you see the official tying his shoe. I talked to the officials before the game. Next time I get an opportunity to talk to him, I'm going to tell him, but Velcro, bro, Velcro. We don't have time to wait on you to tie your shoe. Okay, maybe we do. All right, so 2nd and 4 now. 3:10 left in the first quarter of play. Hendricks under center. He gives it. No, he's got to keep it. It's a quarterback run. Trying to get the first down, and he will before we have a collision. That's good for first down yardage. The Mustangs are going to have first down and 10 from the 14-yard line.
An all-ground attack tonight so far from the Mustang offense, and it seems to be working well. They really run hard with the football. It's a great thing to watch. I really like to watch that physical running game and just trying to drive back this Indian defense.
So 1st and 10. The Indians stick with that 5 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Rolling is Hendricks. The first pass attempt. He's looking for tight end. Hendrick, he pushed off a little bit, but it was out of his reach. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. I have him listed as a running back, but he lined up in the slot that time, it looked like. Well, look at all the cars across the way, Matt. Parking lot was full here, and there is people still arriving here to Victor Field. Second and 10. Inside give to Kidwell, and it's a solid play. He has 7 or 8 inside the 10. They're going to give him 6 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. It's Levi Shen time.
He's got to be coming close to closing in on that yardage record. He's already got, 65, 70 yards tonight.
Got 60 at this point in time, so he's just 23 yards away. Here's the give to Shen. He is taken down. He's very close to a first down. We'll wait for the spot. It's going to bring up 4th down. He stopped just shy on the play. That'll bring up 4th down in inches. Kemp with the stop.
Coach Jolly's got to be impressed with the way his team came out and starting to execute the game plan to start this first quarter.
Watch the hard count here. He's already got Kemp to jump once. We'll see if Hendricks can do it again. Here's the give to Shen. He cuts inside, lowers his shoulder, and he's inside the 5 down to the 1, and that's good for an Eldon first down. They're now 2 and 2 on 4th down on the game, and they've also got the Indians to jump. So first and goal from the 1. Touchdown, that's Kidwell, but I think we might have an illegal formation or shift against the Mustangs. Yeah, it's going to be an illegal procedure. Really an illegal shift is what it should have been called on Hedrick, who started in motion. We saw that play earlier. I'm not sure why that was called this time and not last time. Oh, so the linemen didn't have their hand down, and that explains why. Of course, Coach Davis, the expert in the booth with us here on Lake TV, giving us his expert opinion, and we certainly appreciate it because I would not have known why that was called an illegal procedure. So first down and goal from the 6-yard line after the first penalty on Eldon. Inside give to Kidwell. He lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown. His second of the night, his 11th of the year, and the Mustangs up 13-0. Wow. Mustangs all over the Indians so far through 11 minutes to play. The Mustangs up 13-0, and the Indians on both possessions have yet to get a first down. Just love how long these drives eat up for the Mustangs. They're very lackadaisical, non-lethargic. Here's a nice kick up and through. So Levi Shin, another extra point, now just 3 away from that 100th in his career. So after 11 minutes to play, the Osage Indians trail the Eldon Mustangs by a score of 14-0. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
If you'd rather make a trip to the dentist, clean out your garage, or have a sit-down with your kid's school principal, then go through the process of buying a new car, you should come to Spielers. Because we think buying a new car should be just as enjoyable as owning it. Visit us in California or online at Spielers.net.
At Spielers Incorporated, you are the one.
Back here on Lake TV, and it is the Eldon Mustangs in control so far. Matt, now with the lack of success the Indians have had running the ball through 2 possessions, I mean, they know they're outmanned on the line, both sides. So maybe put Wheeler out of the shotgun and some quick passes, maybe some quick bubble screens, some quick slants. Try to take advantage of your weapons on offense because the line just getting decimated. These Eldon Mustangs are so big and so strong and so fundamentally sound. They're going to have to do something different. Of course, it's easier said than done from the booth, and that's why I'm up here not on the field, but got to see something different. Here's the kickoff from Shin. It's a high end-over-end kick fielded by Russell Williams inside the 5. He's outside. He's got some good yardage across the 20. He'll be taken down at the 22-yard line where the Indians take over right there.
Yeah, what I think is pretty interesting is just the way these football teams turn over from one year to another. You graduate a bunch of seniors, and the complexion of your football team can completely change from one season to the next. So it's really, it's tough for a coach to implement a style and a game plan, when you're turning over so many players every year.
Unless you're the Eldon Mustangs, who return 19 of their 22 starters from a year ago, 10 on offense, 9 on defense. I mean, they're the exception to the rule, obviously. If you look at the Osage Indians team, they lost nearly everyone on offense, with the exception of Brent McLaughlin and Brennan Pierce. You lost Jake Ulmer. You lost Justin Heiser. You lost Colin Samuelson. And, of course, Austin Riley at quarterback. They did go through the air on first down. It was a 7-yard strike into the flat, so 2nd and 3 now. And here's a direct snap to Riley, and he is taken down in the backfield by big number 68 of the Mustangs. That's Dale Folsom. He was having none of that, and that goes for a loss of 1 yard. Will bring up 3rd down and 4.
It's a crucial drive here for this Indians offense. They just need to buy their defense a little bit of time, pick up a first down, and there it is right there.
Nice job by Brent McLaughlin. It was behind him and short. He slid and made the catch, so that's good for a first down, and that's the first time the Indians have moved the chains through a quarter of play. 0.3 seconds on the clock, so that should conclude our first quarter of play, and it will. So after 1 quarter, the Eldon Mustangs defending their home turf On homecoming, it's 14-0. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
It's a new look,
A new location.
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family owned. Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia.
And we are back. So team switch ends. And so if you looked at the first quarter as a whole, the Mustangs did exactly what they wanted to do. That is their formula for success. Sound defense and pounded on the ground, and they did so through 2 series. They're up 14-0. And if you're Osage here, you did get a couple of positive plays. You got your first down, and now you want to keep it going. Because if you can come down and get a touchdown here, it's a one-possession ball game and probably quiet the Eldon crowd just a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully that first down just lets this Indian offense just kind of take a deep breath. Okay, all right, let's get back to our game plan. Let's try to execute on offense and see if we can move the football against the Mustangs defense.
We will see. One player I'd like to see the Indians get involved in maybe a play action is tight end C.J. Myers. Very dangerous when he gets the ball in his hands. He had a pick 6 2 weeks ago in that game at Versailles. Quarterback option, and oh my, there's nothing doing. Taken down in the backfield by Nathan Mislovich. That was a read option, and wise decision by Wheeler to hold on to the football because that would have been a fumble. Mislovich with the stop. So Coach Davis, would they rule that a sack, or is that just a tackle for a loss? It's a sack by Mislovich. That's into the flat now, and that's going to be intercepted by guess who? Levi Shin to the 10, to the 5, to the house, and Levi Shin, 32-yard pick 6, actually 36 yards. That is outstanding.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. Shin is the leader of this team, offensive, defensively, special teams-wise. He's all over the field, and what a great job reading that play. Making a break on the football, come up with a pick 6. Just another touchdown to add to his repertoire.
Yeah, and I mean, not to get ahead of myself because it's very early in the ball game, but the tweet I saw last night, I don't normally talk to Eldon graduates, and when I do, I order fries. Well, I got something for you, Osage. You might be talking to Eldon graduates here in a couple years about the beatdown they put on you during their homecoming in 2015. You don't mind having a good time and a little trash talk, but when you do that and then come out and drop an egg like this in the early going, it's going to raise some eyebrows. So it is 20-0 with 11:23 left. And Shen, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So it's 21-0. We're going to be right back with the rest of this one. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
If you're looking for a new tri-tune, see me and take advantage of our price on a new Cypress K tri-tune at Advantage Marine.
Need service? We specialize in servicing these stern drives and Mercury outboards. Our factory-trained technicians can handle almost any problem, no matter how big.
And if you need parts, see me. With our huge inventory, I can help you find parts that are hard to find.
Take advantage of Advantage Marine's 50-plus years meeting your boating needs at the lake. See our lineup of new Cypress K tri-tunes. For sale, service, and parts.
Our family's here to serve you.
Back here on LakeTV, and Matt, right when it looked like Osage may get just a little momentum, they did get the first down, and they got the quarter break to give their guys a little bit of a break. They've been playing catch-up all night. I don't know, I guess that's kind of a ugly situation for the Indians as Levi Shin jumps the quick slant and takes it 36 yards to the house, and it's all Eldon through a quarter of play. But one thing about a Devin Johnson coached team is they can strike quickly, and so no reason to panic here for the Indians, but this is a big, big drive for many, many reasons. So Shin now to kick from the 40. Good kick, fielded at the 10-yard line. No, it's dropped. That's going to be Jason Edwards now trying to get outside. He does, and he's outside, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line by none other than Levi Shin. So it'll be 1st and 10 Osage at the 30-yard line.
A great job of kick coverage there by Shin, following his kick and making a tackle. Because it looks like the Indians were about to try to make a play there on that kickoff.
Well, I will tell you, the fact that Edwards did fumble the ball or drop it gave his blockers an opportunity to open a hole. He made a couple of guys miss and had a very good return. So 1st and 10 from the 30. Out of the shotgun is Wheeler. He's going to roll to his left, throws across his body into the flat. Brent McLaughlin has it. He's got 13 yards across the 40. That's good for an Indian first down.
That's the 2nd or 3rd completion by Wheeler, and he really seems a little bit more comfortable when he's moving with the football. I'd like to see him roll out of the pocket and make a throw on the run. It seems to be suiting him pretty well here to start the football game.
Yeah, he's a very, very solid player. He has 13 on that, and he's already got 3 catches for 31 yards in this ball game. Here's the give to Riley. He spins off a would-be tackler, rumbles forward. He's got 5 yards and first down. That's a good play. Very important here for the Indians. You've got to stay out of big yardage situations. So that means on first down, even if you only get 2 or 3 yards, that's much better than having a negative yardage situation, and that allows the Eldon Mustangs D-line to just tee off. So here's Wheeler now in the flat, and off the hand of Levi Shin, completed to Edwards across midfield. That's spotted at the 43-yard line. So the Indians now starting to have some success through the air, and that's exactly what I was saying. You got to get Wheeler in motion. You got to throw the football down like this, and Wheeler now with 4 of his last 5 completed passes, and he doesn't have an incompletion technically because the one that wasn't completed was completed to Shin. So Wheeler now out of the shotgun. Riley in the backfield with him. It's going to be a quarterback keeper and not a lot doing. Lemon, Backham, Folsom in on the stop. Cole Walker also in there. Kidwell also in on there. So a slew of Mustangs get in on the stop. That's good for just a yard. Bring up 2nd down and 9. Can't wait to see what this Wheeler kid turns out to be for the Indians. Only a sophomore, 6'4", 180 pounds. I'm sure he'll pack on a little weight over the next year or so. He could be a very dangerous quarterback because we've seen him make some very tough throws this season. Wheeler drops back, clean pocket, throws over the middle. That's deflected. Nice job for the 2nd consecutive play by Walker. And then that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
C.J. Myers, broken up by number 40, Cole Walker.
Myers, the intended target.
3rd and 9 for the Indians.
Nice job by the O-line of Osage. Really did clean the pocket.
Yeah, the Indians are in Mustang territory here. I'd like to see them try to take advantage. They got a 3rd down and long. Wheeler in the shotgun.
3 wide receivers. Wheeler rolls out to his left, now throws back across. He's got Myers, the tight end. That's an inventive play inside the 20. Taken down at about the 17-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 18. Big-time play. He's taken down by Dawson Brandt.
You know what? I really like the play calling of Devin Johnson. He's done a couple of different things here. You know, where they threw it to the, fake the reverse and then threw it out to the receiver, running back out of the backfield. That play right there. You know, just a little. Just come up with a little bit of different kind of styling.
And they're going to get 15 more yards after the play, maybe a half the distance to the goal as it's a 15-yard personal foul. Not sure who committed the crime, but exactly what Osage wants to hear. Yeah, I mean, you line up 3 wide receivers. You have Wheeler roll to his left. All the defense shifts that way, and then you throw back across the field. Sometimes a dangerous play, but no one was there. And now we're going to have a false start. Wheeler knew it, but back to that play. You saw everyone goes to the other side of the field, and you throw it back, and the blocking, there's only 2 Eldon guys there, and a couple of Indian blockers did a nice job to lead the way, and just a big-time play. And the Osage Indians in business, but now we've got a false start.
What I was trying to say is basically that the Indians are going to have to rely on a little bit of creativity in their play calling maybe to execute their game plan here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen them try that halfback pass on the – looked like it was a reverse and really an opportunity there, just misplay. And then, of course, the throw back across the field. So now 1st down and goal from the 14. The give is to Pierce, and he is taken down. Kidwell, the initial man there. And also in on the play, Garrett Scribner. Turned out to be a bruiser
Mustangs.
Second and goal from the 16-yard line now. I spot Kevin Burns. Wheeler now, I don't know where that was. Looking for Edwards in the flat, nowhere near him. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 16.
You mentioned it earlier in the drive, Will. This really is a crucial possession here for the Indians. You know, you've got you're down 21-0, 8 minutes to go here in the first half. You need a little something positive to come out of this possession, whether it's a field goal, just anything. Get some points on the board, get some confidence back, and get this team rolling.
So 3rd and goal, the 16, 4 wide receivers split both sides of the field. Wheeler drops back, has a clean pocket over the middle, looking for his man, and an excellent play by Levi Shin breaking that up. They were looking for Brendan Pierce, who had a step, but Levi Shin breaks that up, and it's now 4th and goal from the 16-yard line. Uh-oh, we do have a flag on the play. Might be a chop block. It looked like a lineman for the Indians went low on a Mustang defender. Yeah, it's going to be a chop block. I saw someone upended, thought that might be the case. I didn't see Laundry on the field, but if you're the Mustangs, you got 2 options here. You can decline the penalty, force them a 4th down and 16. Yeah, they're going to decline it. The Eldon sideline very adamantly signaling decline, so it'll be 4th and goal from the 16. And the Indians, that would have been their 4th penalty. They really got to be careful here. They're already down big, and now it looks like the field goal unit comes out for Osage. Yeah, you got to get points. I mean, I know it's 3-possession ball game, but if you come out of this possession and don't score at all, it's going to be awful. It's going to be Jason Edwards to attempt a 33-yard field goal. Nick Riley will do the holding. The snap, the hold is up, the kick, and it's good. Good kick from 33 yards out, so the Osage Indians are on the board with 8:05 left in the first half. The Eldon Mustangs lead by a score of 21-3. You're listening and watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
So look at this crowd here at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri. Just no room. People standing all over the place because there's not enough seating. There's cars all over the place. This is one of the better crowds we've seen yet this year, Matt.
Yeah, the atmosphere here tonight is electric. The Mustang football team came out to play tonight. They're leading the Indians right now 21-3. We've got 8 minutes to go here in the first half. And the Indians getting set to kick off after their first scoring drive of the game. 33-yard field goal.
I joked about an onside when Eldon kicked off to start. But Coach Johnson, very creative. I don't know if he would, but this would be a good time. That's going to be a low line drive kick. Bounces at the 16-yard line. Fielded on the hop by Hedrick. Tries to get outside. Now he does. Cuts back inside before being taken down by Nick Riley at the 25-yard line. That's where Eldon starts this possession.
Kickoff return. Tackled by number 3, Dylan Riley for the Indians.
Well, the Indians offense did their job on that last possession. You know, brought the football downfield. They started with good field position, probably their best of the night. Worked the ball downfield, end up getting some points on the board. Now let's see how the defense reacts to that. Can they come out and try to put a stop to this Mustang offense?
Well, they've had no answer to the running game of the Mustangs. Hendricks under center. The give is to Shen outside, lead block, and there he goes to the 50. Inside the 40, it's a foot race. Brendan Pierce is going to try to catch him, and he will. They're going to mark him down at about the 11-yard line. That's good for 64 yards. Levi Shin, and he is now over 2,000 for his career. He's got 131 on the night. That puts him at 2,048 for his career.
Well, we've seen that play a few times tonight. The Mustang offense is executing it to perfection, and Shin doing a great job busting through the line behind the right-hand side, and huge 60-yard run.
Yeah, just outstanding. It's good for 64 yards and just 7 carries into the ball game. Shin already has 131, and Kidwell just lowers his head and puts a boom on an Indian defender. That's good for 6 yards. We'll bring up 2nd down and 4 now. It's very realistic that this Mustang team has 2,000-yard rushers this season. Kidwell came in the ball game with very near 600, and he's having a good ball game tonight. I mean, he could be close to 750 after tonight, and then if he were able to, have a good postseason and finish strong the last 2 weeks of the season, no reason he couldn't. And of course, Shin will tap 1,000. Inside give, Kidwell taken down. Good tackle, leading the way. The first stop was Dreyer. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
The way this game started off, I wouldn't be surprised if Shin didn't break that record here tonight if he stays on the field. I'm sorry, the 1,000-yard mark for the season.
Oh, yeah, very, very possible. Give to Shin. He's stopped inside the 1. It's good for a first down, but no touchdown. Just holding on for dear life was linebacker Jacob Mason with the stop. It's Kidwell actually with the carry. So it's going to be 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line. And Levi Shin yet to have a rushing touchdown. Kidwell already 2, so I wonder whose number you call here. Kidwell more of the goal line back. I mean, he's more of a bruiser. Outweighs Shin by a large margin. Both are in the backfield here. Love to see him hit Owen Tam on a quick slant. It's going to be Kidwell into the end zone for his 3rd score of the night from 1 yard out. 5:48 left in this first half, and Mustangs all over the Indians.
Just no answer for this power run game here from the Mustangs. Just breaking off big chunk yardage, going back to the same play, and just executing them to perfection. So good job by the Mustangs offense here in the first half.
And the extra point is up and good for Shin. So with 5:48 left in the first half, the Mustangs up 28-3. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football only on Lake TV.
Welcome to Burger's Smokehouse. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Burger's Smokehouse invites everyone to come and visit our unique visitor center. See all the amazing museum-quality displays highlighting the seasons of the Ozarks and learn about meat curing and the history of Burger's Smokehouse. Peruse our factory country store where we offer the largest selection of cured and smoked meats found anywhere. While you're here, grab a smoked meat sandwich and enjoy our video tour in the Good Old Days Theater to see how we produce our famous products. Our 4-generation family business has combined time-tested curing traditions with modern meat processing innovations to become the largest specialty cured and smoked meat processor in the nation. Burger Smokehouse is nestled deep in the rolling Ozark Hills near California, Missouri, just 20 miles north of Eldon on Highway 87. We're just a short drive from anywhere in the lake area. Just follow the road signs to Burger's Smokehouse. You can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Visit our website at smokehouse.com. Burger's Smokehouse, your trusted provider of cured and smoked meat since 1952.
We're back here on Lake TV where the Eldon Mustangs are all over their rival Osage Indians here. 5:48 left in the second quarter. Your score 28-3. Indians set to receive. Levi Shin does the kicking and about everything else for the Mustangs. That's a little squib down the middle, and it's off Ian Riley's hands and taken down at the 32-yard line. Excellent tackle on the play. It's number 18, maybe number 13, Brady Asbury. No, I apologize. Austin Kempker, the junior and backup quarterback with a nice sound tackle. So Osage starts 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
I'd like to see this Indian offense kind of stick to what's been working for them. Move the ball through the air, get Wheeler, outside of the pocket, throwing on the run. See if they can come up with a score before the end of the first half.
It's a little read option. It's going to be kept by Wheeler. He puts his head down and keeps it for an 11-yard gain. So nice play by Wheeler. That's what I talked about. This kid really does have a knack for the game. I mean, he's very football savvy, making plays all the time. That one's good for 11 yards and a first down. So he's going to try to do everything he can do. After throwing that pick six, he couldn't be happy with himself. Under center now. Wheeler the give. Brandon Pierce the carry. He's got some good yardage. No, actually across the 40, the 30, the 20, inside the 10, and to the house for the touchdown. That's Dylan Brown, the junior backup running back from 42 yards out, and the Indians have life. Wow, Matt, just like that, the Indians strike.
Just as I mentioned, the Indians passing game, what do? They run one right up the gut, a huge run, touchdown by this Indian offense. What a time for that. Exactly what this football team needed to get back into this game.
And the extra point is up and good by Edwards. So we have a ball game yet. It's 28-10. Eldon leads the Osage Indians. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
Have you met the Configurator? It's a new way to see what a new set of wheels would look like on your vehicle. Log on to ClarkTireCo.com and look for the Configurator. Select your vehicle and start searching. And while you're there, remember that besides wheels and tires, Clark Tire can service and repair most anything you can drive. Tires, wheels, service, repair, including exhaust. Clark Tire, 3 locations around the lake: Camdenton, Sunrise Beach, and Versailles.
We'll save you money and hassles at Rick Ball Ford Lincoln.
The best customer service, and we'll give you the most bang for your hard-earned buck.
Our family way of doing business will win you over and have you coming back.
Rick Ball Ford and Lincoln in Sedalia.
And back here on LakeTV, you see the Osage cheerleaders on the sideline. Got to be excited what their team just did. So just when it looked like Eldon was about to pull away prior to the break, the Indians answer with a 57-yard touchdown run on the legs of Dylan Brown, the junior backup running back. So with 5:16 left and the Indians have life, we'll see if they can't get a stop. Because now if you give the ball back to the Mustangs and they come down and score again, it's really kind of pointless. I mean, you can't trade touchdowns at this point in time because you dug yourself such a big early hole if you're the Indians. So here's the kick now, a little squib over the middle to the left side, and that's at the feet picked up by Hedrick. He crossed the 20 and taken down at the 21-yard line. Good stop right there by number 27 for the Indians, Hunter Davidson.
Mustangs take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line.
So we look for the Mustangs to keep the ball on the ground for the most part. It's been Levi Shin and Trenton Kidwell just rocking it so far. I don't have yardage on Kidwell, but he's had an impressive first half. He does have 3 touchdowns. Here's the give to Hedrick now. Cole Hedrick across the 25 up to the 28-yard line. He has 6 or 7 on first down. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. I mean, just so many players capable of taking a handoff and doing some things with it. Not just that, but you have Isaiah Moreta. He had 259 yards and 5 scores coming into this ball game.
Just an all-ground attack from this Mustang offense. That really is impressive to watch.
So on 2nd and 3 now. Hendricks, the give inside, and it's Kidwell, puts his head down, has a big gain. Down to the 43-yard line. That's good for 15 yards and an Eldon first down. You know what I really like about Kidwell? He never shies away from contact. He always finishes the run. He's very willing to lower his shoulder, deliver a boom, and looking at the kid from here and also from the field in pregame, not a guy that I would be willing to take a hit from. He is a mean-looking kid. And a little story about Trenton Kidwell. His dad, Dennis, was my bus driver for 8 years in Eldon. Gives to Shin now, outside, lowers his head. He has 3, maybe 2. They're going to give him 2, bring up 2nd down and 8.
Number 1, C.J. Myers, and number 9, Russell Williams on the stop.
Eldon has come a long way in the last 6 to 8 years as a program, not just in football, but as a district. They have been outstanding in their testing scores over the last 5 years in improvement. Have some outstanding people in place. Sean Fisher involved in the administration. Of course, Chris Harwood does an awesome job. Steve Henderson, the activities director and assistant principal, very experienced. He was a long-time basketball coach here in Eldon. I think he had 9 or 10 district championships, district titles in his tenure as coach, and he's one of the greatest coaches that'll ever coach here in Eldon. So on 3rd and 3 now. Here's the give. Kidwell, no, it's Owen Tam. No, it's Levi Shin. There's a flag, and I think that's 1st down on a 4-yard gain. We'll wait for the flag. Yeah, and by the body language of Graham Bockham, it's going against the Mustangs. I got an opportunity to watch Graham Bockham in basketball last season, and as good as an athlete as he is, he does tend to wear his emotions on his sleeve. Last year, calling basketball on the radio, saw him get heated a couple of times, but overall, he's an outstanding athlete, comes from a fantastic family. And another story, I have history with everyone in Eldon, but I lived next to his grandma and grandpa for the 12 years I lived in Eldon. So I got to know Graham and his little sister. I believe her name is Gracie. It's probably been 10 years since I've seen her. Time flies, Matt, when you're having fun, right?
Absolutely. We're having some fun here tonight under the lights here in Eldon.
And here's a big 3rd down now. Eldon, after the penalty, faces a 3rd and 15. They haven't been in this situation at all tonight. Here's the misdirection play. The give to Hedrick, upended, and a great tackle by Britton McLaughlin. He also got help from C.J. Myers. And the Indians defense comes up with a huge stop, and Coach Johnson calls a timeout. So it'll be 4th and 15. We're going to come right back after one commercial break. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
Back here on LakeTV, and the Eldon Mustangs failed to get a 1st down or score, so for the first time tonight, they'll be forced to punt, and that is a very opportune time for the Indians. They're going to have 2 timeouts and 2:30 presumably on the clock when they take over on offense, barring anything crazy. I mean, Eldon does have it 4th and 12 from their own 43-yard line, so the Indians should get really good field position. Shin back to punt inside his own 30. Brandon Pierce, Jason Edwards back to receive for the Indians. Interesting set here for the Mustangs. So low kick. Takes an Eldon bounce inside the 25 and down to the 23 by Owen Tam. So good punt by Levi Shin. Need him 35 yards on the punt, and that's going to bring up 1st and 10. So the stage is set. 2:26, 2 timeouts, and they've got 74 yards to go. Do the Indians score? Really, really gets interesting. Although I guess Eldon plenty of breathing room. They're up 18 points, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So 1st and 10 now. Under center is Wheeler. Brett McLaughlin, Brandon Pierce. Jason Edwards, left side. Same play. Across, it's Dylan Brown now. Across the 30, we saw this play earlier. Across midfield, Owen Tam getting pushed. Good block by Halsell. Cuts across the field. Dylan Brown inside the 20. Now the 15, to the 10, to the 5, into the house. And from 77 yards out, Dylan Brown, another long touchdown. And we have seen that play already. And just like that, the Indians are back in the ballgame. It's 28-16, and we still have 2 minutes left to play in the first half.
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Will, the creativity and the play calling by this Indian football team, and it is paying off big time here in the second quarter. Their second touchdown of the quarter, getting themselves right back into this football game.
I mean, in the pregame, we talked about Zach Wheeler, we talked about Brandon Pierce, Britton McLaughlin, Matt Halsell. Who is Dylan Brown? He has busted onto the scene. He has a 57-yard touchdown run, and he has a 77-yard touchdown catch. And it was really a 3-yard catch and a lot of yards after the catch. Some very nice maneuvering, and Osage is going to line up and go for 2. But first, a timeout. So we're going to take a commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. This one is getting very exciting very quick. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
Power Customs in Gravois Mills manufactures and sells firearms and aftermarket accessories worldwide. Power Customs also offers a state-mandated class in conceal and carry. It is taught by retired LA County officer Art Tormolen. Art will teach you how to handle your firearms safely, how to load and unload, precautions you need to know in the home and on the street. And you'll be able to actually fire your pistol on Power Customs outdoor shooting range. Power Customs, putting your firearm safety in our hands.
So what's important to you is protect.
And we're back on Lake TV, and what a series of events that have taken place over the last couple minutes. The Osage Indians, I told you, a Coach Johnson team could strike quick, and they do. They get a 57-yard touchdown run on the legs of junior running back Dylan Brown, and then they get a 3-and-out fueled by a big holding call on third down. They get the ball back, and it takes them just one play. They find Dylan Brown again in the flat for a 77-yard touchdown catch and run, and the Indians will go for 2. Wheeler under center. Takes the snap. Wheeler's going to keep. He's pushing forward, but he will be stymied at about the 1.5-yard line, so the Mustang defense do prevent the 2-point conversion, so it's 28-16. There's 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half. We'll be back on Lake TV after this.
It's a new look.
A new location.
But the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family-owned. Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln, and Sedalia.
When that deer in the headlights lands on your hood, you need S&K Customs Auto Body and Collision Center in Versailles. S&K handles everything from dings to fender benders to major collisions to custom work. S&K handles all insurance claims, and our work is backed up with a lifetime guarantee. Got deductible? We pay up to $500 of your deductible. See Steve or Karen for details. We also fill propane tanks, from gas grills to RVs. S&K Auto Body and Collision Center, located right behind Citizens Bank in Versailles.
Back here on Lake TV, and if you're watching our commercial, just saw Steve and Karen Watkinson, our friends at S&K Customs. They have done work on my vehicles on 3 different occasions. Beat everyone's price around the lake. Fast, quality work. So if you have any collision or repair work you need on your vehicle, do not hesitate to give Steve and Karen a call at S&K Customs in Versailles. So Edwards now to kick. Line drive. Nice kick. Fielded. Oh, and it's fumbled by Hedrick. He now picks it up at the 10, and he'll be taken down at his own 14-yard line. And you get the sense that Osage starting to steal momentum in this ball game.
Yeah, you can just see the Indian sideline. They're just a little more, huddled together. They're a little more into this football game. I mean, scoring a couple of back-to-back touchdowns is going to do that for you. And now they've got a little momentum to see if their defense can come up with another stop.
Maddie, I mean, for those at home that have been watching the game of the week all year, you see 28-3 and you go, oh, here we go again, another blowout. Not so fast. Don't go anywhere, folks. I know you think there's plenty of good things to watch, but we've got, as you said in the pregame, Maddie, you expected a barn burner, and we've got just that here in the first half. So Hendricks under center. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage for a modest gain, maybe 1. So 2nd and 9 now. It looks like Coach Jolly starting to question his calls earlier. We saw a lot of that pulling guard run to the outside, that halfback stretch where you pull the guard, and lead the way, and you get the fullback, or I guess the other running back that's split in the backfield.
There it is.
And we see it again just when we say you didn't want to go with it. Is it Shin or is it Kidwell? It's Shin. And they're going to give him 7 yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. So and Coach Jolly elects to call a timeout. We're going to stay right here on Lake TV. There's 1:15 left, 3rd and 2. If Osage can find a way to get a stop here, probably burn their last timeout and give their offense a chance to take a few shots. Yeah, Matt, you talked about it. After the first couple of series for Osage, they had trouble getting anything going, and we talked about it. Get some quick passes, change up your play calling. And since then, Coach Johnson has done a magnificent job of switching things up, and it's worked to perfection because since it was 28-3 just to start the second quarter, well, it's been all Osage after that. They've outscored the Mustangs over the last 8 minutes of the ball game, 13-0, and they now have the Mustangs facing a 3rd and short inside their own 25-yard line. Be interesting to see if the Indians get a stop here, what they're able to do on offense. Hendricks, the inside give to Kidwell. Look at him go. Nice job holding on from behind. Russell Williams was holding on for dear life, and he held on to the jersey for a good 3 to 4 yards. Otherwise, that might have been the 4th Trenton Kidwell touchdown we had of the night. So 1st and 10 now, ball at the 44-yard line. 1:05 left in the ball, or in the half. Out of the shotgun is Hendricks. He takes the snap, he rolls to his left. He's going to step across his body. He's going to keep it. Good run, and he's upended there as Dreyer knocks him down to the 45, but not before Hendricks able to gain 11 yards and another Mustang 1st down. And of course, in high school, the clock stops as they reset the chains. Eldon offense does an excellent job getting up to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go again in this no-huddle offense. Hendricks out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. Now rolls to his right this time. Into the flat. He's got Shin, and Shin able to hold it in. Looks like he took his eyes off the ball and had big things in mind prior to hauling in the reception. So we finally have something to hold against Levi Shin as he drops that one, but an outstanding game for Shin. I guess half. He has a pick 6 and he has over 140 yards rushing. So 40 seconds left. It'd really be a dagger for the Indians if Eldon was able to score here. Remember, Eldon gets it to start the second half. Stay tuned. During the halftime break, we got our Clark Tire halftime show. Look at Cole Hedrick with a little spin move on Russell Williams. And then Russell Williams, along with a couple other Indians, able to wrestle him down. And it's number 34 in there for the Indians, Austin Magnuson.
So we're seeing a completely different style of this Mustang offense here on working this 2-minute drill, and it's working pretty well for him right now.
I'd love to see Owen Tam get involved. I've talked about it many times, and here's Hendricks now rolls out, throws in the flat. He's got Shin. Nice block. Shin inside the 5. The ball's loose, and that's going to be a touchback. Unbelievable. Levi Shin, we talked about it in the pregame, had struggled to hold on to the football, and a great hit. That's going to be a touchback for the Indians as the fumble goes into the end zone. And just when things looked like they were going the Mustangs' way as they were going to score to the break, as fate would have it, the Indians get a big play. I don't know who jarred that free, but that is an outstanding defensive play. And when his team needed it the very most, the Indians, I would assume they'll probably take a knee. Of course, in this ball game, the way it's went so far, you can't assume. But what an exciting second quarter we've had here, Matt.
Right, that Indian, I can't believe how big that tackle that was made a little bit earlier on Kendricks, stopping him, hanging onto his jersey, doing whatever you can to get him to the ground. It ended up being a huge play, making this Mustang offense work down the field instead of just that one-hit touchdown. So
yeah, it
turns out to be a huge play.
It was Russell Williams held on to Trenton Kidwell, and I think it was Russell Williams that knocked the ball loose on the play. I can't guarantee that. Now Eldon calls a timeout as they saw the Indians were coming out to line up out of the shotgun with 4 wides, and so Coach Jolly looks like he was also assuming the Indians were going to take a knee, and since they didn't, he's going to call a timeout and go ahead and realign his defense. So there's 16.9 seconds remaining. The Indians have it in just an incredible series of events that have taken place here.
Yeah, this has been a wild one here tonight on Lake TV. We'd like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. You can catch us here every Friday night. Charter Cable, channel 197 on Como Connect. Check us out on channel 90. You can watch us all the time online, mylaketv.com, or pull out your smartphone. Google mylaketv.com. You can stream us right there from your smartphone. And you don't want to miss any of this action tonight. I have a feeling this one's going to stay pretty exciting here. I'd like to see what the Indians choose to do here. They've scored on their first play from scrimmage on their last drive, so I think Coach Johnson is thinking, hey, why not? I'm going to take a shot. I've got something I want to call right here.
Interesting to me that Coach Jolly has no one back deep here. You do have him playing soft coverage, and that one is over his head, picked up inside the 5, into the house, and it's Mr. Chris Lemon. The fumble recovery for a touchdown, and Coach Devin Johnson cannot be happy. Just when it looks like things are going the Indians' way, an absolute disastrous play. The snap flies over Zach Wheeler's head. Chris Lemon scoops it up inside the 5, rumbles into the end zone and scores. So the Levi Shin fumble goes for none. And if you're Levi Shin, you probably go over to Chris Lemon and this defense and say, hey guys, thank you for picking me up, because that could have been a disastrous series of events for the Mustangs. So Shin in to kick the extra point. The hold by Hendricks. The kick is up. The kick is good, and the Eldon Mustangs lead by a score of 35-16 with 10.9 seconds remaining in the first half. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
We'll save you money and hassles at Rick Ball Ford Lincoln.
The best customer service, and we'll give you the most bang for your hard-earned buck.
Our family way of doing business will win you over and have you coming back.
Rick Ball Ford and Lincoln in Sedalia.
If you'd rather make a trip to the dentist, clean out your garage, or have a sit-down with your kid's school principal, then go through the process of buying a new car, you should come to Spielers. Because we think buying a new car should be just as enjoyable as owning it. Visit us in California or online at Spielers.net.
At Spielers Incorporated, you are the one.
Back here on Lake TV, and it is a situation for the Eldon Mustangs where you just reach into the chest of every Osage Indian fan, coach, and player, and you rip their heart right out, because they looked like they were rolling. They were in business. And then the play that was a trick play, Matt, you touched on it in the break, and it was a disastrous play. Shin now the kick. It's a line drive kick. Fielded at the 25 by Austin Riley. Tries to get outside. He will. Now he's got something inside the 40, or across the 40 up to the 41. So with 3.4 seconds left, might as well take a shot here.
Yeah, what a wild series of plays we've had here back-to-back. That's a big timeout. You know, Coach Johnson came out of this in the shotgun, you know, looking to make something happen with 16 seconds left. Mustangs call a timeout. Then the Indians come back with a trick play, goes terribly wrong, fumble. Mustangs pick it up and score. Just a complete turn, you know, a very big coaching decision there by Coach Johnson.
Yeah, great point. The timeout turns out to be huge. Now Wheeler airs it out, looking for McLaughlin, and it's intercepted by guess who? Chris Lemon. No, it's Levi Shin, his second interception of the night. And that is the way our half concludes. So at the break, Eldon leads by a score of 35-16. Don't miss the Clark Tire halftime recap show. We'll be back in 5 minutes on Lake TV.
This Lake TV Game of the Week is brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, Burger Smokehouse in California, Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Clark's Tire in Versailles, Sunrise Beach, and Camdenton. Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Sunrise Beach. Budget Blinds in Laurie. Advantage Marine in Sunrise Beach. Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie. Power Customs in Gravois Mills. S&K Customs in Versailles. And Spielers Incorporated in California.
Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back! Mention this Chances Are commercial on LakeTV and receive $2 off the appetizer of your choice.
If you're looking for a new tri-tune, see me and take advantage of our price on a new Cypress K tri-tune at Advantage Marine.
Need service? We specialize in servicing these stern drives and Mercury outboards. Our factory-trained technicians can handle almost any problem, no matter how big.
And if you need parts, see me. With our huge inventory, I can help you find parts that are hard to find.
Take advantage of Advantage Marine's 50-plus years meeting your boating needs at the lake. See our lineup of new Cypress K tri-tunes. For sale, service, and parts.
Our family's here to serve you.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Welcome to Burger's Smokehouse. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Burger's Smokehouse invites everyone to come and visit our unique visitor center. See all the amazing museum quality displays highlighting the seasons of the Ozarks and learn about meat curing and the history of Burger's Smokehouse. Peruse our factory country store where we offer the largest selection of cured and smoked meats found anywhere. While you're here, grab a smoked meat sandwich and enjoy our video tour in the Good Old Days Theater to see how we produce our famous products. Our 4-generation family business has combined time-tested curing traditions with modern meat processing innovations to become the largest specialty cured and smoked meat processor in the nation. Burger Smokehouse is nestled deep in the rolling Ozark Hills near California, Missouri, just 20 miles north of Eldon on Highway 87. We're just a short drive from anywhere in the lake area. Just follow the road signs to Burger's Smokehouse. You can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Visit our website at smokehouse.com. Burger's Smokehouse, your trusted provider of cured and smoked meat since 1950.
Have you met the Configurator? It's a new way to see what a new set of wheels would look like on your vehicle. Log on to ClarkTireCo.com and look for the Configurator. Select your vehicle and start searching. And while you're there, remember that besides wheels and tires, Clark Tire can service and repair most anything you can drive. Tires, wheels, service, repair, including exhaust. Clark Tire, 3 locations around the lake: Camdenton, Sunrise Beach, and Versailles.
Polylift Boat Lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build polylifts.
This Lake TV Game of the Week is brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, Burger Smokehouse in California, Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Clark's Tire in Versailles, Sunrise Beach, and Camdenton, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Sunrise Beach, Budget Blinds in Laurie, Advantage Marine in Sunrise Beach, Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie, Power Customs in Gravois Mills, S&K Customs in Versailles, and Spielers Incorporated in California.
Back here on Lake TV, your Clark Tire halftime show. And Matt, what an incredibly exciting first half of play. It seemed like it was all Eldon Mustangs. They got up 28-3, 3 Trenton Kidwell touchdowns, a Levi Shin pick 6. Looked like the Mustangs were going to cruise their way to victory. Well, not so fast. All of a sudden, a young man with the name of Dylan Brown gets his first carry, takes it 57 yards to the house. That made it 28-10. You're thinking, okay, Osage, see if you can get a stop. Well, it was a big holding call against the Mustangs on 3rd and 8. Backed them up to a 3rd and 14. Would have had the first down. It was a big gain across midfield. Backs them up. They didn't convert on 3rd and 16. They punt the ball. Osage gets it. Very next play, guess who? Dylan Brown. This time on a 77-yard touchdown to the house. That made it 28-16 after they failed the 2-point conversion. And then what happened when Levi Shin was going to the house? Looked like it was a catch and run. Looked like he would score. What happened?
Yeah, I think Dylan, not sure what it was, the defensive back for the Mustangs comes in, punches the ball out, fumbles it through the end zone, so it's a touchback for the Indians. So they save the touchdown, get the ball back at their 20-yard line. We got, 16 seconds left on the clock. Coach Johnson's coming up with a play, says, I want to do something. I got 16 seconds. I need to make something happen again. So what does he do? He calls a little gimmick play, a little, a hike to the running back. He's going to take it. The quarterback acts like he missed it. The play goes all wrong. The ball fumbles right over Wheeler's head, right into the end zone, and the Mustangs jump on it and get that touchdown that Shin had just missed on the fumble. So what a turn of events and what a wacky ending to that first half.
Yeah, and, the play was you fake like the ball goes over your head and it's fumbled. Well, in reality, the ball was hiked over your head and fumbled, and it was Chris Lemon picks it up inside the 5 and rumbles into the end zone for a touchdown. And, talked about earlier for the Indians, you had your heart ripped out and thrown to the ground at one point in time. Well, that's the second time. Looked like at the very, very worst case scenario, if you don't score on the trick play they tried, you go into the half only down 11. You got a ball game. You got a chance. Well, then disaster strikes on the play, Matt, you just described for the folks. They score, and your score is 35-16. It's a 3-possession ball game, and Eldon gets the ball to start the second half. First half stats, 140 yards on 9 carries for Levi Shin, 2 interceptions, 1 he took back to the house for a pick 6. Did have the big fumble, but he negated that by making that big pick to end the first half of play. And then our guy Trent Kidwell, he had 3 touchdowns in the first half, all coming in the first 14 minutes. He had his third one just 2 minutes into the second quarter of play, and he's already got 12 on the season, 3 tonight. And then the big playmaker for the Osage Indians, Dylan Brown. He has 2 touches on offense. He has 1 catch for 77 yards. We talked about the 1 run for 57 yards. So he's got over 130 all-purpose yards with just 2 touches and 2 scores. So Osage here to start the second half, they're going to have to get a stop. You cannot allow Coach Jolly's Mustangs to come out, control the tempo, rush the ball down the field, eat up some clock and score, because if you do, it's going to put you down 4 scores. And against a team like the Eldon Mustangs, you won't overcome a 4-score deficit. So it's do or die time for Coach Johnson's squad in this second half on this first series. Eldon's going to get it to start the break, so they're going to have to get a stop, as that being the Osage Indians. So on behalf of Lake TV Sports, this is your Clark Tire halftime recap show. We'll be right back with the second half on Lake TV after this.
This Lake TV Game of the Week is brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, Burger Smokehouse in California, Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Clark's Tire in Versailles, Sunrise Beach and Camdenton, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Sunrise Beach, Budget Blinds in Laurie, Advantage Marine in Sunrise Beach, Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie, Power Customs in Gravois Mills, S&K Customs in Versailles, and Spielers Incorporated in California.
And we're back on Lake TV. This is the start of the second half. The Eldon Mustangs 35, the Osage Indians 16, and Eldon's going to get it to start the second half. Now look at the formation. The Indians have 6 guys on the left side, only 4 on the right side, and the Mustangs are doing nothing about it. Only 2 guys over there. I could almost guarantee this is going to be an onside out of the break, and I'm shocked that Coach Jolly does not recognize that. He's one of the most savvy coaches in Missouri. We talked about it, and look, nothing being done about it.
Let's see, they're set to kick off.
And for no reason, obviously. Kicks inside the 15, bounces, grabbed at the 12-yard line, and then back as number 10, Kempker, and he's thrown down to the turf. The junior at the 16-yard line, 17, 18, maybe the 19. So they're going to spot it all the way at the 20. So 1st and 10 here to start this second half at the 20-yard line.
And I think the Mustangs are going to come out and try to continue with their ground game dominance. Very big possession. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, just deferring to the second half and what it can do for your football team. So let's see what they do here on their first possession.
Inside give, and uh-oh. Good yardage. I think that's Kempker on the carry. No, Kidwell. I didn't have how many yards he had, but he had well over 100 in the first half, along with his 3 touchdowns.
Well, the Mustangs pick up where they left off. You know, that strong running game over the right-hand side of that offensive line. And it looks like they're going to try to continue that, control the clock, and just see if they can maybe see this game out with their strong running performance.
Yeah, I mean, averaging over 370 a game on the ground. No reason this Mustangs team is feared in the Tri-County Conference. And here goes Shin now from 65 yards out, takes it all the way to the house. Unbelievable. Just like that, the Mustangs add to their already big lead. And like I said, if you're the Indians, you can't let the Mustangs score on this drive, and they do. I'm not saying that's nail in the coffin, but we're very close to that point in time because it's 4 scores, and the Indians haven't shown but one time they can stop this Mustangs offense. And so if you're the Indians, you probably don't like your chances at this point in time as Levi Shin goes 65 yards. He now has 205 yards on the night and is just 8 yards shy of 1,000 on the season.
A really big start to the second half for the Mustangs. A couple of plays from the line of scrimmage and another huge Shin touchdown run.
And the extra point is up, and it is good, and that is Levi Shin's 100th career extra point converted on. So congratulations to Mr. Shin, adding the extra point after his touchdown. So with 11:15 left in the third quarter, the Eldon Mustangs lead by a score of 42-16 over Osage. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a poly lift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts.
Back here on LakeTV, and congratulations, just heard Levi Shin. We already talked about it, over 2,000 yards and 100th extra point for the Mustangs, and he is a big reason why the Mustangs are up and up big here during their 2015 homecoming game. And congratulations to Holly Anowski, the 2015 homecoming queen. You couldn't have picked a better young lady. She is fantastic, an awesome young lady. I know her mother, Lisa Anowski, very well, and she is a triplet. She got 2 twin brothers as well, Hunter and Harrison, and they are awesome family. So here's the kick, Mr. Dylan Brown, the big-time playmaker in the first half. And outside across the 20, and he's electric. Across the 40, cuts back across, and look at him go. Here he goes across midfield. The 40, down to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. He scores, are you kidding me? From 91 yards out. Every time he's touched the ball tonight, only 3 times, but he's got 3 touchdowns, a rushing, a receiving, and now a kick return. Dylan Brown is electric. If only he could get some help. And the Indians, just when it looked very gloomy, well, don't go away just yet. Still a 3-possession ball game, but that took all of 6 seconds, 8 seconds probably off the clock, and wow, incredible.
This kid, Dylan Brown, has got some vision. What a great job following his blockers downfield all game long, and what a wonderful kick return. I don't know if I've seen anything that exciting here so far this year, William.
So the extra point up and good, and it's 22-42, or 23-42. Eldon leads Osage. We'll be right back on LakeTV after this.
Power Customs in Gravois Mills manufactures and sells firearms and aftermarket accessories worldwide. Power Customs also offers a state-mandated class in conceal and carry. It is taught by retired LA County Officer Art Tormolen. Art will teach you how to handle your firearm safely, how to load and unload, precautions you need to know in the home and on the street. And you'll be able to actually fire your pistol on Power Customs Outdoor Shooting Range. Power Customs, putting your firearm safety in our hands.
So what's important to you is protect.
And we're back on LakeTV, and it has been the Dylan Brown Show for the Osage Indians. And I mean, not to discredit the young man, but I had not even heard the name Dylan Brown prior to the ball game tonight. He wasn't a guy I was really focused on and didn't think he'd be a playmaker. And he's been that and then some tonight. And I mean, that was a highlight reel kickoff return. He made everyone on the Eldon team miss at least once. And I believe player came in, not to be mentioned, but missed him twice. And just outstanding vision by the young man. So Edwards now to kick for the Indians. And it's a little onside. Picked up by Kidwell very wisely. And there's going to be a late hit, absolutely. Number 27 knows better. That's Hunter Davidson after the ball was dead. He spears the guy laying on the ground, and you can't have that penalty if you're the Indians. So coach will talk to him about that. So Eldon's going to have excellent field position. I like the decision, but not really a very good onside kick by Edwards on the play. And nonetheless, Eldon has it. 1st and 10, all the way up to, we'll wait to see where they spot it.
I think they're going to be near midfield by the time they walk off this penalty.
Interested to see. I'm getting ready to get some scores from games around the area. Of course, that California-Blair Oaks game, one to keep an eye on.
Another big rivalry game right there, California and Blair Oaks.
Waynesville is up over Camdenton 20-14. Hallsville and Versailles, very close. Hallsville 18, Versailles 14. And those are both games at the break. Here's the give to Kidwell. He has about 4 yards up to the 45-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Well, the Mustangs just getting right back to their routine here on offense. Keeping the ball on the ground. Give it to Shin.
Like to give
it to Kidwell.
Like to give a shout out to our friends at Accelerate Magazine, providing your ticker scores for Lake Area High School football. You can download their app, going to Accelerate on your phone, and then adding them to your home screen. And you can check them out at accelerateyourmag.com. Kidwell on the give. He has another 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Riley with the stop. So back to Accelerate. That's a health, wellness, nutrition, and sports magazine covering Eldon, Osage, Versailles, and Camdenton. Sean Cooper, the founder of that magazine, and he has done an excellent job getting that up and off the ground running. He texted me to let me know, all the games are the halftime. So, Sean, thank you for letting us know, and keep up the good work over there. You can also catch the LakeTV stream through accelerateyourmag.com. Here's the inside give. I think it's Kidwell, and he has got 1st down yardage before forward progress is stopped. And it is kept with the stop, but not before Kidwell has another Mustang 1st down inside the Osage 40-yard line. Tons of familiar faces here at Victor Field in Eldon. Of course, when you went to Eldon for 10 years, you're going to know a lot of people. I see the legend, Mr. Harriman, down there. He was a longtime football coach and athletic director here in Eldon. And his wife, Claire, was also an athletic director. They're Cub fans, so you got to love them. Levi Shin now the give. He'll be taken down. Hossell and Kemp combined for the tackle, and now we've got some extracurricular activity. Looked like an Indian trying to draw a personal foul. That's Hossell. Gets thrown. I don't know if he got thrown down, but he certainly hit the ground. Might have been a flop, and the referees were all over it. No flag called. So after the modest gain on 1st down, we have 2nd and 9. Eldon with possession and control of the ball game. They're up 19 with 8:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Don't have a California Blair Oaks score, but that's a game I'm very, very interested in keeping an eye on. So under center now, Hendricks to give, and that was a scary looking handoff.
Yeah, even
and it's a fumble, and Osage has the ball. I said it was scary looking, and for a reason. The exchange never happened. Hits the ground. Osage gets the ball, and they're going to get it at their own 39-yard line. So not only do they get a big takeaway, but they get great starting field position. And this is exactly the way the half needed to start after that big touchdown. You get the touchdown to answer on the kickoff return, and now a big takeaway. We'll see if the Indians can't capitalize. Here's the handoff, Dylan Brown, and Graham Bockham is having none of that. He throws him to the ground emphatically, and that's the first time Dylan Brown has touched the football tonight that he hasn't taken it to the house.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, partner, just those first down plays and wanting to get something positive out of them. And obviously a 4-yard loss is not what you're looking for, but
Wheeler now has McLaughlin, catches it at midfield, and he is down at the 46-yard line, taken down by Garrett Skripker. That's a touchdown if McLaughlin doesn't bobble it. It was thrown on the backside of him. He has to stop, and instead of just grabbing it and going, it bounces in the air, and that's Britton McLaughlin's 4th catch of the game. Here's the give to Brown. Lemon takes him along with another Mustang defender, Cole Hedrick, in on the stop, and that's good for no gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Chris Lemon for the Mustangs.
so the Indians kind of going with a no-huddle, quick-look offense right here for their second possession here in the second half.
Fake handoff, under pressure. Nice job to elude the pressure. He's got to get rid of the football. Now he tucks and runs. Look at Zach Wheeler. I thought he needed to get rid of it. Little did I know he was going to tuck and run, gets positive yardage, and he picks up 8 yards. I guess 5 yards. I thought it was 3rd and 2nd and 15, but gets 5 yards, turning what could have been a very negative play into positive yardage, bringing up a much more manageable 3rd and 5. So nice job by the sophomore quarterback, showing a little poise in the pocket. Out of the shotgun, he takes it now. Rolls, throws. He's got his man, Jason Edwards, with the catch, and he's got 6 yards and an Osage first down. So look at the Indians on 3rd and 5. They get Jason Edwards in the act. Nice ball delivered by Zach Wheeler. He had some pressure. He eluded that, stepped up in the pocket, and delivered a strike to Mr. Edwards.
I really do like when they get Wheeler just moving around, even if it's just a little bit in the pocket. He just seems so much more comfortable doing that.
Throws looking for McLaughlin and just overshoots him. He did have Jason Edwards wide open in the flat, but Wheeler felt like he thought McLaughlin could get position. He did, and just overshoots it a little bit. No harm done, though, on 1st down. That's a good throw. If you're gonna miss, overthrow. Don't give the defense an opportunity to get their hands on it. Live to see another down.
Right, Wheeler just a little bit too much air under that football, but good vision to find the open receiver.
Here's the give, and Brown, once again, all-state lineman Graham Bockham blows it up. 2-yard loss, and Bockham, one of, if not the most impressive defensive tackles, not just in the Tri-County Conference, but possibly at the 3A level across the state of Missouri. He's a lock for an all-stater again this year, and this kid should be getting some serious college looks. I don't know if he has gotten any offers or has committed anywhere, but I know he's going to be an asset to some college program. There's the throw, and what a catch! It's Edwards from Wheeler from 35 yards out, and on 3rd and 12, it's a huge play for the Indians, and they score. That is unbelievable. Wow, Wheeler to Edwards. 2nd time on the drive that Edwards comes up with a big 3rd down catch. He had one on 3rd and 5 for 7 yards a moment ago. And now on 3rd and 12 from 35 yards out. Beautiful throw across his body. Nice catch by Edwards. The extra point is blocked. Someone got a mid on it. I would assume Graham Bockham, just by the size of that kid's paws. But even with the block extra point, Osage storms right back into the ball game. It's 42 Eldon, 29 Osage with 6:21 left in the 3rd. Do not go anywhere. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
It's a new look,
A new location,
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family-owned. Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln, and Sedalia.
We'll save you money and hassles at Rick Ball Ford Lincoln.
The best customer service, and we'll give you the most bang for your hard-earned buck.
Our family way of doing business will win you over and have you coming back.
Rick Ball Ford and Lincoln in Sedalia.
Back here on Lake TV and just talking with my partner here in the booth, Matt Wamser. And Matty, I'll tell you, what an exciting game, and you touched on it, probably the most exciting one we've had yet this year.
Yeah, I can't believe some of the action. We think the Indians are out of it 2-3 times now, and what are they doing? They're crawling right back into this football game. Only down by 2 scores, down by 13 right now. We just mentioned 6:21 left to go here in the third quarter, so I just can't believe this barn burner here. I'm loving this.
I'm really, really glad that I didn't say nail, meat, coffin. That's one of my favorite lines, and I said, I wouldn't say that yet. Well, rightfully so, because the Indians just storm right back into the ballgame. So here's the kickoff, fielded by Hedrick inside his own 5. Gets past the first line of Indian defenders, across the 35 before being taken down at about the 36-yard line, and that's where Eldon starts with this possession. So it's 1st and 10 Mustangs at their own 36-yard line. There's 6:12 left in the third quarter.
The Mustangs just need to come out and, keep sticking to the game plan. Keep the ball on the ground. Give that quick handoff up the middle to Kidwell. Maybe loop it outside with Shin. It seems like that's kind of their game plan going with those two guys. Kidwell's the strong, quick hitter up the middle.
And there it is. Shin trying to break free, and once again, Russell Williams holding on for dear life. Shin has 13 yards on the play.
To Levi Shin carrying the ball for the Mustangs.
The Indians defense just having trouble maybe identifying that play or just flat out stopping that play, but that's got to be about the 10th time we've seen that play run to the right, mostly to the right. They have run it to the left a couple of times tonight, Will, and the Indians defense just cannot come up with a solution to that running game.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't think they'd have any trouble identifying it, but they're certainly having a hard time stopping it. Here's the inside give to Kidwell. Makes the first couple of guys miss, lowers his head, and he's got another Mustang first down. So, Eldon says, yeah, it's very cute. You got some nice plays. You've scored a couple of trick plays. You have the big kick return for a touchdown, but still, good luck stopping a running game. It's just not going to happen. When you have a two-headed monster like Levi Shin and Trenton Kidwell, it's going to be tough to stop. And Osage has definitely found that out tonight.
Yeah, you got a couple of big kids out there running the football, and they're running the ball hard and being strong, finishing their runs off.
So Hendricks under center. Here's the give to Kidwell. Very patient, waits for it to open up, and he has another good gain, 5 yards. Now, I'll tell you, there's only been 1 or 2 times all night that Eldon's found themselves in long yardage situation. One on a penalty and one on a muff snap that was covered up by Nick Hendricks. Otherwise, every time on first down, positive yardage. Second down, positive yardage. And when you do that, it makes the defense tired. You keep moving the chains. And I'll tell you what, if Osage can't find a way to blow something up in the backfield like we've seen Graham Bockham and the Mustang front 5 do all night on defense, they may not get back into this ball game. Hendricks, the give to Shen, who works outside. He's now trying to get outside. A nice job that time to contain by the Indians. It's Russell Williams along with Brandon Pierce and Kemp with the stop. Kemp, and then just like we talked on, they need some negative plays. Well, Shen loses 3 on that one. Right on cue. You would think that the Osage coach has our broadcast in his headset, because right when we talked about him mixing up plays, going to the air, did just that, did some misdirection plays. And then the defense gets a big-time negative yardage situation just after we talked about it. So 4:08 left in the third. A big 3rd down and 8 here for the Mustangs. They're up 13 points at their 2015 homecoming. It's Hendricks. He stops, throws across his body, and he's got his target. Yes, he caught it. Very close to a first down on the far sideline, and that's big number 33, Jacob Whittle. He came into the ball game with 132 yards receiving with 2 scores, and he is a yard shy, Matt. Good eye. I thought he might have it. You called it right as it happened that he was short. So great job by Jason Edwards to get the stop short of the first down. And here's a huge, huge 4th and 1. Hendricks under center. He's got the two-headed monster in the backfield. Osage stacks the box. Here's the give to Kidwell. No one can stop him. He's got 4 yards and another first down. So now they're 3 for 4 on fourth, or 3 for 3 on 4th down situation. They also drew Osage offsides in their first possession on 4th and 1. I keep getting a feeling that eventually this rushing attack is going to slow down, but it hasn't been the case here. Owen Tam lines up wide, and now Cole Hedrick goes across the other side of the field. And now it looks like Eldon's going to have to burn a timeout, and Shannon Jolly is none too happy. See if we can get a camera on him. I always love the ever-colorful Shannon Jolly. Tell you what, he's one of the most even-keeled, calm, relaxed guys when you talk to him if you're a member of the media. But he is an intense coach. He's passionate about what he does, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a head coach at the high school level who cares more about his players than Shannon Jolly. And I don't just mean players that are playing for him. When you come to Eldon for a weightlifting session or a workout, you will see guys that have graduated the last 3, 4, 5 years hanging around the program because Shannon Jolly's had a huge hand, not just in their high school football careers and their high school academic careers, and he stays extremely interested in their college careers as well as they do in life. And that's what you want as a program out of your head coach. And Eldon, when they hired Coach Jolly, landed an absolute dynamite blockbuster hire because Shannon Jolly, he made a name for himself at Osage, and since coming to Eldon, like I said, 2 district championships, back-to-back years, 2012, 2013, and he's made a brand here for Eldon Mustangs football once again. They always start the year against teams like an academy out of St. Louis, Hogan Prep. He makes his teams play tough competition. They've almost beat Blair Oaks. If it wasn't for turnovers, they would have beat the 6-0 Falcons, so you really can't say enough about Shannon Jolly. Here's the give now. It's Kidwell, I believe. Once again, he lowers his head, and he has good yardage. We're going to give him, no, it's Shin with 7 yards. And the nice thing is if you work with Coach Shannon Jolly, you love working with him. Coach Dylan Davis up here in the booth with us, and as I'm sitting here singing the praises of Coach Jolly, he just nods his head yes with an emphatic yes because everything I'm saying he agrees with. Coach Jolly has really done a nice job for the Mustangs here in Eldon, and he's had some really good players over the last 6 years at the helm as well. So 2nd and 4 now after the 6-yard gain by Shin. Hendricks under center, as we typically see. He gives it to Kidwell, and Kidwell going to be pushed back by Halsell after gaining 2. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, speaking of the Eldon Mustang football team, I've just gotten to know them a little bit over the past couple of years, and I'll tell you what, I love coming to Victory Field here. The crowd here tonight is amazing, and really just Coach Jolly just really putting together a well-coached football team.
Coach Jolly his Mustangs face a 3rd and 3 now and it happens again on 3rd down. Hard count by Hendricks gets the Osage Indians to jump. Brock Henry, the culprit this time, and that's a big-time first down for the Mustangs. Quick shout-out to Andrea Davis, the wife of Coach Dylan Davis. Andrea was an outstanding volleyball player here at Eldon. She was, I would believe, top 5 in kills all time for the Mustangs record. She was absolute joy and delight to watch on the volleyball court, and as nice as a person off the court as she was on the court. So congratulations to Dylan and Andrea for their recent marriage. I say recent, I don't know how recent. And Kidwell now from 9 yards out on 1st and goal to the house. That's his 4th touchdown of the night. So 48-29 now. Osage does everything they can do offensively, but their defense has no answer for this Eldon attack. That's the 5th rushing touchdown of the night. I know they've got to be well over 300 yards on the ground. They're probably getting close to 400. Levi Shin alone has over 215 yards on the ground, and I know that Kidwell's getting up there close to that 200-yard mark. So Shin in to attempt the extra point and give his Mustangs a 20-point lead. The hold by Hendricks. The kick is up. The kick is good. And he does. So the Mustangs lead 49-29 with 1:47 left in the third quarter. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
When that deer in the headlights lands on your hood, you need S&K Customs Auto Body and Collision Center in Versailles. S&K handles everything from dings to fender benders to major collisions to custom work. S&K handles all insurance claims, and our work is backed up with a lifetime guarantee. Got deductible? We pay up to $500 of your deductible. See Steve or Karen for details. We also fill propane tanks, from gas grills to RVs. S&K Auto Body and Collision Center, located right behind Citizens Bank in Versailles.
Back here at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri, in a mix-up. I misunderstood Mr. Dylan Davis. I apologize. Not married, not yet anyway, and I definitely put the pressure on Dylan. Coach Davis up here in the booth informs me, no, we're just dating, so I certainly apologize. If for any reason, Andrea, you're listening, please don't put the pressure on Mr. Davis after hearing that. So, touchdown by Kidwell, is fourth of the night, and with 1:47 left, the Mustangs lead by 3 scores, but I don't dare say this one's over because I do see Dylan Brown standing at the 5-yard line, and I would think Mr. Levi Shin has got directions from his head coach to kick anywhere but in the vicinity of number 5. And yeah, it's a squib picked up there by number 12 and rolled down to the 30. Nice tackle by Kempker. Nice job by Kempker. Ian Riley with the return gets very little. So 1st and 10 Osage now at the 30-yard line. It's a very big possession, needless to say, down 3 scores and just a little over a quarter to play, Matt.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to get – I'd love to see them let the ball loose a little bit. You know, you're down 3 scores. You need something big to happen. You know, let's use that creativity. Let's roll Wheeler out of the pocket. Let him use his arm strength.
Inside give to Dreyer. He's got about 4 yards. And really, Matt, it hasn't been a problem for the Indians to score. The problem has been getting the ball back from the Eldon Mustangs without allowing them to score. Eldon has punted the ball just once tonight. They have turned the ball over at least once. They might have turned it over. No, just once so far. Into the flat and incomplete, looking for McLaughlin, and overshoots him. Does Wheeler, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Shin had a good read on that play. He was making a break on that football. He just missed another interception here tonight.
So now the signal from the sideline, Wheeler has. See our friend Michael Loesch from Lake Sun down on the field. Does a nice job with their sports. Enjoy reading his articles. So under center now, Zach Wheeler. Being pressured, Graham Bockham looking for him, looking for Edwards, and he has to overshoot him thanks to pressure from big Graham Bockham. For being a big guy, he really can move, Matt.
Yeah, Wheeler did a good job. Good headsy play. I know it was 3rd down. He's trying to make something happen for his football team, but on that play, he just had to avoid the rush, you know, get outside of the pocket and get rid of the football.
How about a fake? I see Jason Edwards back at his own 20 to kick to Levi Shin, waiting at the 30, and Shin did have a punt return for a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Warsaw. We know what he can do when he has the ball in his hands, and Osage hasn't been able to stop Eldon. I would think this would be a no-brainer, yeah, and it's going to be a fake. Number 3, Riley, and Eldon has none of it. They must have known. Big-time stop by the Eldon defense on the special teams play, and they're going to get outstanding field position. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. But what were you going to do if you're Osage? I think you have a better shot at coming out of the shotgun. Coach Jolly's seen this 1,000 times. He's coached a lot of football games in his career. When you know your offense can't be stopped and it's 4th and 6, I would have just came out and went for the 1st down through the air. Nonetheless, nice job by the Eldon defense, and they're going to take back over.
Yeah, that was a tough situation for this Indians offense. They're in a need to score possession, just try to make something happen. And unfortunately, the fake punt didn't fool anybody.
Inside give once again to Kidwell. He's dragged down across the 35. He makes his way to the 33 after 1 yard gain, so he's got 1 yard. Bring up 2nd down and 9. Following the game, don't miss our Budget Blinds Player of the Game, and that'll be included in our post-game show tonight, brought to you by Polylift. Our friends at Polylift Boat, they had their customer appreciation party today, and Sunrise Beach was able to stop by. They were grilling, and excellent turnout. They fed over 100 people today. Kidwell now the inside give, and he's wrestled down very near the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 31. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6, and that's going to conclude our 3rd quarter of play. So they'll switch ends after 3 quarters of play. The Mustangs in control with the ball. They lead by a score of 49-29. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on LakeTV.
If you'd rather make a trip to the dentist, clean out your garage, or have a sit-down with your kid's school principal, then go through the process of buying a new car, you should come to Spielers. Because we think buying a new car should be just as enjoyable as owning it. Visit us in California or online at Spielers.net.
At Spielers Incorporated, you are the one.
Back here on LakeTV, start of the 4th quarter, it's been all Eldon Mustangs. Well, I say all, I mean Osage definitely not going down without a fight. It's been an exciting game, and we're excited to be joined up here in the booth by Eldon Athletic Director Steve Henderson. And Coach, what about the game tonight?
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting game. We knew it'd be a good game coming in. Osage, any team that passes on us, you always wonder how that's going to be, but we've played pretty well so far and hope we can finish it out here in the 4th quarter.
Tell you what, I mean, you guys have been in control, rushing for very near 400 yards tonight on the ground. Both Levi Shin and Trenton Kidwell. Kidwell's getting close to 200. Shin's already over 200 yards. But, man, some wild back-and-forth stuff. Every time it looks like Osage is down, they come up with some kind of big-time play, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it has been. The big thing with us is we hope the big guys up front can take control of the game, and hopefully we can do something with it.
So Coach is going to stay in the booth with us a little bit. So, Mr. Henderson, talk to us a little bit about what's going on around Eldon and how things are shaping up on your end.
Well, Eldon, everything's going really well, academically, athletically, and everything. We're competing pretty high level in all of the fall sports right now. We're hosting the Class 3 District 10 softball tournament next week, so we're pretty excited with things going on around here in Eldon.
Beautiful facility, of course, Victor Field. Meanwhile, Levi Shin on 3rd and 6, and the Osage defense finally finds a way to force a 4th down. Of course, Eldon tonight 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, and they've also been able to draw Osage offsides on a 4th down. So we'll see here what Coach Jolly decides on 4th and 3, and we're just kind of talking about what Coach Jolly brings to the table, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find a head coach that cares about his kids more than Shannon Jolly.
Yeah, he puts a lot of time and effort in working not only with the athlete as they are, but also the kid and the human being they're going to be.
And we were talking about that. And meanwhile, Levi Shin with the carry. And on 4th and 3, it's the Osage defense coming up with a stop. That's going to be a turnover on downs, and it's Osage not dead yet. Coach, that's not what you wanted to see.
No, I'd like to see us punch that one through. So we'll see what we can do on defense now.
So do you miss the coaching realm, or are you really enjoying the administration side of things?
As I've gotten older and I've gotten away from athletics more, I really like the administrative part of it.
Boy, I had a blast watching some of your teams in the mid and early 2000s on the basketball side of it. Man, what a run you had as the head coach with the Eldon basketball program.
Yeah, I can't complain. We had some good athletes, and we had some fun while we were there. So, yeah, I'm happy with what we did.
Yeah, Eldon basketball is something very, very special. If you haven't got an opportunity to come out and see it, it's fun. It's fun environment around Eldon basketball, especially in that era when you had that run of district titles and conference titles. You talk about, the Reagan Wilsons. You talk about the Curtis Kings. You talk about the Jordan Schmidt or Tyler Schmitz. Just outstanding players, like you said, Coach. Wheeler now across his body, looking for his man, coming back to the football across midfield, and that's a nice adjustment to the football. Wide open on the play was number 81, James McCann. Nice play for Osage, and look at the Indians. They are down 3 scores, but there's a no-die attitude in Coach Devin Johnson's squad. So besides Coach Shannon Jolly, you've got some impressive young coaches on staff here at Eldon. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate in our hires over the last several years. Coach Pace stepped down this last fall or spring in girls basketball, and we hired a young girl Ashley Agee to take over for the program, and the girls seem to be responding really well. You know, basketball, Brandon Cleathermos, he was one of my former players. He's taken over now, and we've seen a lot of good things out of him as well this summer. So, you know, we've got Dusty Purnell in softball, Chad Hines in baseball. I think we've really solidified what we need to do in all the athletics to make ourselves better as a school.
Definitely. After the completion of McLaughlin, here's the throw into the flat. Once again, McLaughlin has it wide open. Nice job to recognize there by quarterback Wheeler. And I'll tell you what, McLaughlin, a very savvy play there just to settle into the open area in the flat. Gets it, and McLaughlin's been a weapon for Osage all year long. He had 3 touchdowns in the game against Versailles, and he's had a ball game tonight. That's his 6th reception. He's got 82 yards on the night. Yeah, you talked about Brandon Cleathermos. I can't wait to see what he does on the basketball side of things.
Yeah, he brings a lot of motion offense, and he wants to play some man-to-man and get up in you a little bit on defense. But we've got some size and some movability, so he's going to have some different options to play with this year. But they had a really good summer. You know, they developed a lot. Bauckham was out for the entire summer with his knee. But I'm anxious to see when we get all together how they're going to be this fall and winter.
Definitely, and I'll tell you, of all the Cleathermos boys, you know, not to discredit Brent, he was an awesome player. You know, he's very, very physical in the post. But of all the Cleathermos, you know, you had 4 guys that were just had a good run, all played basketball very good. But he might be the most unlikely candidate to come in and coach, and I think he makes a very, very good fit for you guys. You talked about his motion offense and the athletes you have in place, and I'm just excited. I know I graduated in the same class as Brandon, went to church with Brandon and his family, and what a basketball family he comes from.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun coaching him. You know, I'll be honest with you, Brandon in high school, I could tell he was going to be a coach. He just absorbed it, and he loved it. You know, he wasn't 6'7", 6'8" like his brothers, but he had the heart of a champion, and he worked his butt off, and that's what he's doing now as a coach, and he's making the kids. He's rubbing off on the kids, and he's bringing a lot of that to the team, and hopefully this year it'll show off as the time goes on.
Okay, Coach, well, it looks like you're needed, so I certainly appreciate you joining us here in the booth. For those of you watching, this is Eldon Activities Director Steve Henderson joining us. Coach, have a great night and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, William. Thank you.
There's the throw now on 1st and 10, and it's Riley across the 15-yard line. He's down to about the 12, so another first down. So Osage not ready to be done yet. They are down 3 in the time right now. Their biggest enemy, 9:43 left in the 4th quarter. They're down 20 points, but they're knocking on the door here. 1st and 10, ball at the 11-yard line. Okay, they spot it at the 9. It's 1st and goal. Here's Wheeler now. He keeps it, and he's pushed backwards. Nice job by the Eldon front 5. They would not be denied, and that's Owen Tam with the stop. Let's talk about this young man, Owen Tam, for a second. Young man lines up at wide receiver, probably the most selfless player on this team. Because you're a run-first team, that being the Elden Mustangs, he doesn't get a lot of opportunity, but always the first kid to be congratulated, a player that scores. His stepbrother, Levi Shin, gets a lot of attention in the media, but I'll tell you what, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a kid as good as Owen Tam in and off the field. And Al's McLaughlin from 10 yards out on 2nd and goal from the 10 from Zach Wheeler, and that's a touchdown. So it's 35-49 with 9:06 left here in the 4th quarter. Matt, you're back just in time. We were able to talk with Mr. Steve Henderson, the athletic director, also the assistant principal at the Eldon High School. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the most fun classes I ever had, was his chemistry class my junior year in high school. And he was just a fun guy to be around, obviously. It's fun. His son, Gavin, I think Gavin was a senior last year, correct, Coach Davis? Yeah, he was fun to watch, and I was blown away when we're going to keep it right here in the booth on Lake TV when I was calling games for Chaos 95 to see he was a senior, because when I knew Coach Henderson as a student and as a fan of his Mustangs, Gavin was just a little guy that ran around, at practice and stuff, and so it's crazy. So I guess we're going to take a short commercial break after the Indians tack on the extra point. It's 49-36, Eldon with a 2-score lead, 9:06 left. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
It's a new look,
a new location,
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home
and discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family-owned, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia.
And we are back here on Lake TV, and what a ball game it's been. I love the fact we've been able to keep it exciting, and I guess you wouldn't assume you've seen how Eldon, all of their I guess, hands team. You see a couple of linemen up there, too, probably trying to clear the way, but you've got 9 guys between the 40 and 50-yard line, and Jason Edwards set to kick. Nice onside, and that's grabbed by number Folsom. And he's inside the 30, and that's a great kick. Really had an opportunity to be knocked away by an Osage player, so nice heads-up play by number 68 for the Mustangs, Dale Folsom. He had a sack earlier in the ballgame, you'll probably remember, and that's a very heads-up play to not just fall on the football, but grab it and then make something happen with it. He takes it all the way to the 27-yard line, and Eldon has fantastic field position.
Yeah, the Mustangs got the ball right at the Indians' 27-yard line, so great field position here. With 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they're looking to kind of close this deal out here. Keep the ball on the ground. Hold on tight. No turnovers here. Just run the football, eat up some clock, and let's go celebrate our 2015 homecoming.
And there's Kidwell, and he'll be taken down after a gain of 3. Yeah, I mean, it's time for Osage to show us what they're made of. Their defense is going to be forced to get a stop and do so when Eldon has a very short field. So 2nd and 7 now. We're inside of 9 minutes to play. 8:38 officially on the clock. Matt, I hate to say it because you don't want to root against either one of these teams, but it'd be kind of cool to see a turnover here, just make things exciting. Here's the give to Shin, and he's upended, and he's holding his right knee. We'll keep an eye on that. He gets up, and he's all right. Nice job on the play by Jacob Mason. Gets the stop, and that goes for a 2-yard loss on the play. So finally, they've got an answer for Levi Shin over his last 4 carries, just a net of 2 yards. And now the Mustangs face with a 3rd and 9. This is the biggest 3rd down of the ball game thus far. 7:50 left. Under center is Hendricks. Play action. Throws. And a miscommunication between Shin and Hendricks. Shin went inside. Hendricks threw it outside. And that's the best case scenario for the Osage Indians. They don't have to worry about any more clock running off the time as the incomplete pass stops the clock. It's 7:41. And on 4th and 9, it's decision time for Coach Shannon Jolly.
Well, yeah, you've got Shin. He's got a big leg. What would that be about?
From the 26, it'd be a 43-yard field goal. We saw him connect from 51 yards out a week ago. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Try to draw him off sides again.
And they call a timeout with just 1 second on the play clock. So they are flirting with distraction, very near a delay of game penalty. But nonetheless, it's 4th and 9 with 7:41 remaining. We'll be right back after this.
Chances are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back.
Back here on LakeTV, and looks like Levi Shin is going to get an opportunity to add a 43-yard field goal to his impressive stat line for the night. And this is no gimme. The wind has died down. It's moving left to right. The hold, the kick is up, and it's going to be wide left. No, it's not. Right through the uprights. Looked like it was going to be pushed left, and Levi Shin gives the Mustangs a 16-point lead. That's going to be 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and the Mustang faithful loves every bit of that. So 7:41 left, your score 52-36, Eldon over Osage. We'll be right back on Lake TV after this.
If you're looking for a new tri-tune, see me and take advantage of our price on a new Cypress K tri-tune at Advantage Marine.
Need service? We specialize in servicing these stern drives and Mercury outboards. Our factory-trained technicians can handle almost any problem, no matter how big.
And if you need parts, see me. With our huge inventory, I can help you find parts that are hard to find.
Take advantage of Advantage Marine's 50-plus years meeting your boating needs at the lake. See our lineup of new Cypress K tri-tunes. For sale, service, and parts.
Our family's here to serve you.
All right.
And we're back here on Lake TV and just discussing the onside kick and the way that played out for Osage. It was an unlikely guy to get his mitts on the ball. It was Dale Folsom, the big man. I mean, he weighs in at, we have him down for 255 pounds, standing in at 6'4", so a big kid, but he moved well, gave the Mustangs good field position. They didn't move the ball at all, but they didn't need to, as Levi Shin connects from 43 yards out, and the Mustangs now lead by 16 points. There's the kick and fielded at the 10. Cross the 20, now the 25.
There he is. There he is, baby.
Is that Dylan Brown?
It is.
It is. He's across midfield, still on his feet. Look at him go across the 40, inside the 30, and he's taken down, and the ball is out, but they're going to call him down. Takes it all the way to the 24-yard line. That's good for 66 yards on the return.
This Dylan Brown has been electric tonight. Talk about a playmaker, and his vision when he's carrying the football has just been unbelievable tonight. He's following his blockers. He's staying on his feet. He's using his quickness. He's doing everything he can to help this Indians football team.
It's unbelievable the vision this kid has had, because he had some good yardage, and you were just excited. And here he is again. I didn't even realize he had the ball. And then when he started making his way across the field, I thought he may go. Here's Wheeler now, rolling to his right, throws back across, and undershoots, looking for C.J. Myers. Probably best that it did, because there were two Mustangs in the way of Folsom, as well as Cole Hedrick waiting in the flat for that. So that was probably about the best thing that could have happened for Osage on that play.
Yeah, they've gone back to the well a few times on that play. I like that throw back across the, swinging everybody out to the right, try to throw it back across the field, but unable to connect on that play.
Yeah, I love the adjustment defensively by Eldon to recognize that, because they were home on that one. Here's the throw into the flat, and that one's caught. Is that McLaughlin? No, that's number 81. Once again for Osage, James McCann. He had the big reception earlier. So the Indians still in this one. If they get in the end zone here, they're going to have to go for two. Wheeler now rolls to his left. Now steps back, pump fakes, looks, and it's McLaughlin. Hauls it in. Touchdown from 18 yards out. Incredible play. And look at that. It's time to go for a two-point conversion. That's the third touchdown pass of the night by sophomore quarterback, our spotlight player of the game, Zach Wheeler. And there's two Indians defenders there. This is an exciting ball game.
Let's see if Coach Johnson has got something, maybe in his back pocket here that they've been working on here for a crucial two-point conversion, because if so, it's time to break it out right now.
So they're going to try, of course, 6:50 left in the ball game. An exciting football game we've had. One of the most exciting high school football games I've ever got to witness. Wheeler now throws, and that is knocked away and incomplete. Looked like maybe some contact, no call. Nice defensive play. Looked like Cole Hedrick was in there and knocked it away. So the score, Eldon 52, Osage 42. There's 6:50 left in the ball game. We'll be right back with the rest of this one on Lake TV.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Back here on Lake TV, William Holtz joined by the ever colorful Matt Wamser, and he is out of control, to say the least. So a 10-point ball game inside of 7 minutes. It's 6:50 remaining on the clock, and I don't think Osage will probably try I don't know. Actually, the kick last time by Edwards was outstanding. Dylan Brown on the sideline being worked on by the athletic trainer. I can't remember the name of that athletic trainer. I got a chance to talk with her before the game. She graduated from Illinois State, and she's in her 3rd year with Lake Regional, doing a nice job. There's a little squib, and that, is going to take an Eldon bounce. Very, very dangerous situation for the Mustangs. That's going to be an illegal procedure. They're going to have it 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. So 6:50 left, and it's defense time if you're the Osage Indians. And if you're the Eldon Mustangs, just keep doing what works for you. I think defensively, if you're the Indians, you probably stack the box here and really succeed the pass. I mean, if they're going to go play action, you almost let them have it just because you know they want to run the football and you don't want to get beat on the ground.
Right, just 6:50 left to go here in the 4th quarter. The Mustangs are going to look to eat up a little bit of clock, pick up a couple of first downs, just keep their ground game working.
Kidwell to give on 1st down. He's got about 2.5. We're going to give him 3. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. I mean, really, if you're the Mustangs, it wouldn't be wise to pass. You don't want to risk an incomplete pass. I mean, just eating up the clock. If you get a couple of first downs here, you eat 3 or 4 minutes off the clock on this possession. Score or not, you really put the Indians in a tough situation because they're down 2 scores. And we are running out of time. Under center is Hendricks. The give to Shannon. Nice tackle laid on the play. I believe that was Russell Williams. No, it's Austin Magnuson with the stop. Or Halsell, rather. Camdenton down 42-21 to Waynesville. My man Nate Dog McKinney, our assistant production manager in the booth, sharing that information with me. I've yet to get a score update on that California Blair Oaks game. Checking my Accelerate app as we speak. So 3rd and 6, big time play here for the Mustangs. Hendricks under center. He's going to roll to his right. Looking, he throws, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. So nice job by the Indians defense, and they get a stop. So on 4th and 6, it looks like we're going to see the 2nd punt of the night. Not only do they get the stop, the clock stops. And so, I mean, Tam made the catch on the near sideline. It was just not enough room and able to get the foot down. So saw him make an outstanding catch in the flat. And now Brandon Pierce, or actually Russell Williams, come out of the game in lieu of guess who? Dylan Brown, the big-time playmaker. 3 touchdowns tonight, and he also just had a 66-yard kickoff return. If it wasn't for Dylan Brown, this ball game would have been over a long time ago. High, short kick. Takes the Osage bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So with 5:20 remaining in the ball game, Eldon has it. Osage has it, rather. I apologize. 1st and 10 at their own 37, and it's time for the Eldon defense to get a stop. This Eldon defense has really gotten gashed here in the 2nd half of the ballgame. Actually, honestly, ever since about halfway through that 2nd quarter, Osage has not had any problems moving the ball against the Eldon defense.
I really like what the Indians have done on offense, with their creativity, with their aggressive play calling, and on the right arm of Wheeler. Here he is right now, rolling out to his right.
Throws, looking for Brown, and Levi Shin timed it a little early. Otherwise, he would have had his 3rd interception of the game. Dylan Brown did a nice job turning into a defender and knocking that one away. Otherwise, that might have been a turnover. So 5:12 left. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I do love the play call. Looking for your playmaker tonight, Dylan Brown. Whatever you can do to get the football in his hands at this point is most likely your best option.
Here's the run, and it's Dylan Brown. They give it to him. He bounces outside, and he'll be pushed back. There's too much firepower on the line. Folsom, Scrivener, and a couple other Mustangs, and Scrivener wanted a penalty for extracurricular activity, but I have seen Scrivener in on the swarm a couple of times tonight. Scrivener, a tough-nosed kid, son of Tony and Matt Scrivener, excellent people here in Eldon. Younger brother of Maddie Scrivener, she was an all-conference and district softball player, one of the better players of the year. That one hangs up there and intercepted Levi Shin, his third of the game, deflects it into the air and comes up with his third pick of the game. You've got to be kidding me.
Number 22, Levi Shin with the interception for the Mustangs.
And I don't mean to say that's the nail in the coffin, but with 4:36 left, Osage down 2 scores, and without the football, Levi Shin may have just put this one away for his Eldon Mustangs.
This game, I don't think, could be any more unpredictable at this point. We've had turnovers, interceptions, kick returns for touchdowns, pick sixes, just a wild football game tonight here in Eldon.
So Wheeler has 3 touchdowns on the night, but he also has 3 big interceptions, all by Levi Shin. That wasn't really his fault on that play. That one was up there, and that just got knocked in the air. Anytime that tip drill, it's not normally a good thing for the offense. So 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard gain by Kidwell. Approaching 4 minutes now. Play clock down to about 13. Eldon breaks the huddle, and they're going to use all 25 seconds every time. They always are good at letting the clock run out late in ballgames. 2nd and 8 now. Under center is Hendricks. Pitches outside. It's Shin trying to make his way outside. A nice tackle by C.J. Myers. Magnuson also in on the stop. And it looks like Osage is going to burn a timeout. No, they say Eldon, but Eldon has no timeouts. Yeah, it's Osage burning their first of 3. So with 3:49 left and down 10, Osage burns their first timeout prior to a 3rd and 10 after the 2-yard loss on the carry. So, Matt, let's assume Eldon isn't able to get the first down and they have to punt the ball back, you're going to have about 3 minutes and probably, I'd say 20 or 25 seconds, really depending on whether Coach Johnson chooses to use his second timeout after the 3rd down play or save it for when they get back on offense. But not only do you have to stop them here on 3rd down and get down the field and score once, then you're going to have to either get the ball back on an onside kick, or hopefully you've got at least a timeout left in your bag of tricks. You can get a stop.
Well, the way this game's been going tonight, William, I wouldn't count anything out. It's been one wild ride here. And a big third, looks like 3rd and 10 coming up for this Mustang offense.
Yeah, one of the Osage coaches just came close to the Osage faithful, trying to get them pumped up here. 3rd and 10. Eldon converts, ball game over. Under center is Hendricks. He gives it to Hedrick on the end around, and Magnuson says, no, sir. Sorry, that's Chaz Kempf on the stop. Osage burns the timeout. Magnuson also in on it. 2-yard loss on the carry to Hedrick, and nice job by the Osage defense. So on 4th and 12, Eldon going to be forced to punt, and you may consider putting Dylan Brown back deep here if you're the Osage Indians. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, on the last punt play, I was actually looking at that, and I noticed he wasn't out there, and then all of a sudden Coach, subbed him in to receive the kick. So that's why I was pointing him out last time. I was like, look, he's going into the football game. So I'd put him back there. Let's see if he can work a little more magic tonight, because obviously he is feeling something special here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is not only do you have the 3 touchdowns, but then he had that other return for 66 yards that led to a Britton McLaughlin touchdown. But, I mean, we've talked a lot about these Indians playmakers. How about the job that Levi Shin's done tonight? Not only has he rushed for over 250 yards, he's got a pick 6 to go along with his 3 interceptions. One of those obviously was the pick 6. And then just a big-time game for him. And he's also broken up a couple of passes in the secondary. And then Trenton Kidwell just played outstanding along with Dale Folsom, Graham Bockham, Garrett Scrivener. I mean, the list goes on and on for Eldon. Low snap. That one's down and still able to get it off. Good kick. Bounces off an Eldon player, the 31, and that's where the ball will be placed at the 31 or 2-yard line. Coach Johnson all about it, and they're going to give a pretty good little toss. Be 1st and 10, Osage, and for some reason they throw the ball back to the 27. It was touched at the 31 or 32 by an Eldon player. That's a dead ball. Yeah, and there the official marks it at the 33. So your stage is set, Matt. 1 timeout left for Osage. They've only got 3.5 minutes to go, and they're down 2 scores. But like you said, no telling what's going to happen in this last 3:30 because we've seen a little bit of everything thus far tonight.
Well, this is perfect, though. They've got no other option here than to move the ball through the air. So, I'm looking forward to see what Wheeler can do here with his right arm.
Back in the pocket, steps up, now throws. He's got McLaughlin, who's wide open, across the 30, inside the 40, down to about the 39-yard line. They're going to give him 29 yards on that play. Beautiful play by the Indians, and Wheeler puts a ball on the money. I think Osage has recognized a weakness in the Eldon secondary on that play because it's the same, looks like a nickel package defensively for Eldon, and they're trying to play soft coverage, but McLaughlin just recognized wherever the weak spot is, goes to that area, and Wheeler has hit him. So that play took all of just 21 seconds, and they gained 29 yards as they spotted at the 39.
Looks like the ref is trying to get something communicated to the booth up here next to us. Okay, trying to put a little bit of time back on the clock.
Okay, yeah, Coach Johnson all over it, and rightfully so as a head coach. So many things to worry about, and you got to make sure the time operator is not playing hometown favorites. So out of the shotgun, Wheeler takes a snap. He rolls to his left. He's going to throw. He's got his man. It's underthrown. I'll tell you what, it was going to be a touchdown had he been able to get that ball out to Edwards because he was streaking wide open on the play, but he underthrows him. So 3:08 left. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. It's an exciting night of football. This one felt like it might have been over a handful of times, but no way. It's the Eldon rushing attack that is the story so far, but Osage trying to create a little of their own story. Down 10 points, 3 minutes to go. Wheeler out of the shotgun. He's now flushed out of the pocket. Good job by the line. Back across his body, airs it out, looking for his man. He's got Jason Edwards from 39 yards out, and we have got an incredible ball game right now. Unbelievable. That's the 4th touchdown pass of the night for Zach Wheeler, and I don't know what to say, partner. What an exciting ball game. Clearly not over. Osage has a timeout. 3 minutes left. They're going to be able to kick it deep to Eldon and just hope to get a stop. This is a big extra point because you really love to make it a 3-point game. The hold by Riley. Edwards, the kick is up, and it is good. With 2:56 remaining, Eldon holds on to a very slim lead, 52-49. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Lake TV after this.
Have you met the Configurator? It's a new way to see what a new set of wheels would look like on your vehicle. Log on to ClarkTireCo.com and look for the Configurator. Select your vehicle and start searching. And while you're there, remember that besides wheels and tires, Clark Tire can service and repair most anything you can drive. Tires, wheels, service, repair, including exhaust. Clark Tire, 3 locations around the lake: Camdenton, Sunrise Beach, and Versailles.
And we're back here on the Lake TV network, and I'm very confident in our 3 years doing high school football on Lake TV. This is, without a doubt, the most exciting contest we've ever had. We're proud to bring it to you. It's October 2nd, and what a ball game it's been so far from Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri. It's the homecoming game. It's the biggest rivalry in the Tri-County Conference, and why not, Matt? Edwards set to kick. That's a short, high one. Uh-oh. Picked up there inside the 10 and then taken out right there by Hedrick. So excellent special teams by Osage. Eldon's backed up at their own 11-yard line, 2:52 left. And if you're Eldon, you're going to probably keep it on the ground right here. And if you're Osage, I mean, you just have to get a stop.
What a huge special teams play there on that kickoff. A good deep kick, got a friendly bounce there. And if they end up coming up with a 3-and-out or some kind of stop, they could end up with excellent field position looking to tie the football game.
You see the crowd going crazy. I mean, the Osage cheerleaders knocking out some push-ups down there. Put me in, coach, I'm ready. No, literally, put me in, coach, I'm ready. Under center is Hendricks. He gives the inside give to Kidwell. That's good for a couple yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. I'm going to give him 3 yards on the first down carry. And Osage burns their last time out. I will question Coach Johnson. He has called a masterful game tonight as the head coach of the Osage Indians, but I'm not sure I like burning your last time out right there. But then again, that's why he's paid to coach and I'm not.
Yeah, it's a tough call. You've got a lot of time going to run off the clock if he doesn't make that timeout call. Yep. You know what Mustangs are going to keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock running. They're trying to run this game out.
I got a weird prediction. Everyone in the house expects Eldon to keep the ball on the ground. I think you're going to see a Nick Hendricks play action right here, and he is going to hit Owen Tam for a big play. I hope whatever happens, but I mean everyone in the house, including you, thinks Eldon's going to run the ball. Osage thinks Eldon's going to run the ball. Coach Johnson's stacking the box, meaning the Osage defense is going to be susceptible to a deep play, over the seam. Tam lined up as he'll be lined up as a receiver. I mean, maybe not on a 2nd down, but who knows. So under center is Hendricks. Split backfield as always. The inside give goes to Kidwell. He's pushed back. Kemp in on the stop. And Magnuson and Hussell, or Magnuson and Kemp with the stop. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 6, and I guarantee you Coach Shannon Jolly has to be sweating a little bit on the Eldon sideline, as is Coach Devin Johnson, as his defense is going to have to come up with a stop. So if you're Eldon here, do you put the ball in the air trying to pick up the 1st down, or do you just run the ball, burn the last 25 seconds, and then pray your defense gets a stop?
I'm going with run the football. Give it to your man.
It's Shannon. He stopped at the 35. So Osage defense gets a stop. That's about a yard shy of the 1st down. That's going to bring up 4th down and 1. And I think we're actually going to have an official measurement. Honestly, if it's 4th and inches, I almost bet Coach Jolly goes for it. Even though he's deep in his own end, ball game at the line, your defense hasn't been able to get a stop. And on top of that, Osage has not showed they can stop any play with less than 1 yard. Of course, we'll wait for the official measurement here. I think he's got to be a little bit short. And he is a little short. And you see on the sideline, Coach Jolly, he doesn't know what to do here. This is a very, very big call. If I'm Coach Jolly, I go for it. Only because of what I said earlier. Your front line has got to push all night. I know it's a gamble, and if he does go for it and doesn't get it, it's going to be considered the most controversial call in Eldon Mustangs history probably, and I think they're going to go for it here. Just like I said, they might try to draw him off sides. You got to be careful if you're Osage. Give to Kidwell, and he's got the 1st down. There's a flag. There's a flag on the play. That might be trouble. Oh, it's holding against the Mustangs. It's going to back them up, and they're going to have to punt the ball. Oh. Or maybe it's I don't know. I better stop assuming. Eldon doesn't look like by their body language that they're happy. Let's see. And it's a penalty. I don't know what this means, but it's a penalty.
Maybe pushing the runner way about from behind.
So it's going to be pushing the runner from behind, which is illegal at the high school level. You're allowed to do that in college. You're allowed to do that in the NFL, not in high school. That's Dylan Davis, coach of the Eldon Mustangs, up here in the booth providing that information. So once again, we're very thankful we have him because I wouldn't have known. That's going to bring up 4th and 6, and Eldon is going to have to punt. Now, I'll tell you, the clock should stop on a penalty, and it is still running. Coach Johnson I'm not sure he notices it. Maybe it's not. I guess I don't know, but I think the clock is supposed to stop. So it is a punt, and it's very nearly blocked. Fielded there by Brandon Pierce. He's got it across the 30, and he's taken down to the 25. There is a flag down back here.
That was a marker.
Oh, no, it was a marker. So Brandon Pierce takes it up to the 25, and Osage is very nearly in field goal position already.
Their kicker already has made a 35, 36-yarder earlier tonight. So he's close to his distance already.
Yeah, we broke the scoring on a 36-yard field goal by Jason Edwards. So with a minute 15 left, neither team has any timeouts. Ball's at the 25-yard line. Play action. Wheeler out in the flat. Throws across his body. It's deflected and falls incomplete. He was looking for McLaughlin, but it was Riley that actually got a hand on it. So that was a dangerous play. Does fall harmlessly to the turf, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Might be a little bit early, William, but I'm not sure of the high school ruling on a tie. Do they go into some overtime?
Oh, definitely. You have an overtime possession. I think both teams are awarded at least one possession unless the first team scores a touchdown, just like in the NFL. It'd be ball game.
I know we're getting a little ahead of myself, but just had to check.
No, I mean, it's I honestly don't think that Eldon's going to be able to keep Osage out of the end zone. Wheeler now out of the shotgun. Throw into the end zone. Looking, it's up, and it's intercepted! Owen Tam comes up with the biggest play of his Eldon Mustang career. We have a penalty, and it's going to be pass interference against Osage. Tam pulls it in anyway. It's offensive pass interference as the receiver climbed the back of Owen Tam to no avail. He holds it in anyway. Or do they call this on Tam? If they do, this might be one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Tam had possession, made the play, the receiver climbed his back, and it is. It's offensive pass interference, and I am so ecstatic to see Owen Tam's hard work and dedication pay off. I could not be any happier for the young man. Seals the game for his team. No timeouts for Osage, and that was one of the most exciting finishes you'll ever see at any level, especially the high school level. I'm excited, overwhelmed. I've got chills. Gonna have to contain myself here a little bit. What
wow.
a play.
I don't know what to say. This has been one heck of a high school football game. And you've got to say what a great effort by both schools here tonight. I mean, an excellent show. What a game to watch. What a game to cover here by LakeTV. It's been an absolute joy bringing you this high school football game.
So a couple of victory knees by Nick Hendricks, and that's going to conclude the ball game. Just can't get over how much fun this one was to watch tonight. Just an incredible finish for Eldon. And, I mean, never seen a high school football game quite this exciting, and just an awesome night. 4 touchdowns on the night for Zach Wheeler, 4 interceptions, and really was a good throw. I mean, he gave his receiver a shot today. It was a little bit overthrown or underthrown, but you got to give credit to Owen Tam, the Eldon senior, making a play on it, and Tam seals the victory for the Mustangs. And I will tell you what, how exciting. One more victory knee by Hendricks, and that's your ball game. So the Eldon Mustangs, at their 2015 homecoming, are going to defeat the rival Osage Indians by a score of 52-49 to improve to 4-3 on the year, 3-2 in the Tri-County Conference standings. We're going to be back in just a few moments on the field. We'll have Owen Tam. We'll interview him. We'll talk to Coach Shannon Jolly on the Polylift postgame show. You're watching high school football on LakeTV. We'll be right back after this.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
If you'd rather make a trip to the dentist, clean out your garage, or have a sit-down with your kid's school principal, then go through the process of buying a new car, you should come to Spieler's. Because we think buying a new car should be just as enjoyable as owning it. Visit us in California or online at Spielers.net.
At Spielers Incorporated, you are the one.
Power Customs in Gravois Mills manufactures and sells firearms and aftermarket accessories worldwide. Power Customs also offers a state-mandated class in conceal and carry. It is taught by retired LA County Officer Art Tormolen. Art will teach you how to handle your firearm safely, how to load and unload, precautions you need to know in the home and on the street. And you'll be able to actually fire your pistol on Power Customs outdoor shooting range. Power Customs, putting your firearm safety in our hands.
So what's important to you is protect.
Chances are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back.
Mention this Chances Are commercial on LakeTV and receive $2 off the appetizer of your choice.
It's a new look,
A new location.
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family owned. Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln in Sedalia.
If you're looking for a new tri-tune, see me and take advantage of our price on a new Cypress K tri-tune at Advantage Marine.
Need service? We specialize in servicing these stern drives and Mercury outboards. Our factory-trained technicians can handle almost any problem, no matter how big.
And if you need parts, see me. With our huge inventory, I can help you find parts that are hard to find.
Take advantage of Advantage Marine's 50-plus years meeting your boating needs at the lake. See our lineup of new Cypress K tri-tunes. For sale, service, and parts.
Our family's here to serve you.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Back here on Lake TV, I'm William Holtz, and we have just witnessed one of the most exciting football games you'll ever see from Victor Field and Eldon, where the Eldon Mustangs hold on by the slimmest of victories. They finish off the Osage Indians 52-49. We've got the Polylift postgame wrap-up show right here from the field, right around the corner. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have Coach Shannon Jolly. We're going to have our two players of the game, brought to you by Budget Blinds, Owen Tam and Levi Shin. They're going to be right here after this.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
This is the post-game show brought to you by Polylift Boat Lifts in Sunrise Beach. Here's Will and Matt.
Back here on Lake TV, joined by Osage head coach Devin Johnson. Coach Johnson, probably one of, if not the greatest high school football games I've ever seen. What do you got to say?
I'm sure it was entertaining for a fan's perspective. It was pretty stressful down here on the field. Both, our kids fought hard. Our kids played extremely hard tonight. They showed a lot of character. They showed a lot of character on the field, which is going to carry over to them in their lives, and they're going to be very successful people because of it. We're just going to put 4 quarters together. We did not start real well, and there's been a few games that's plagued us, and you can't put yourself down 28-3 early in the game. It's hard to be down 42-16 in the third quarter and come back and put yourself in position to win, but we did. So we just got to find a way to play a consistent 48 minutes, and we're going to be very good when we do.
Yeah, you guys are going to be a dangerous team the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't want
my team to play you guys. Talk a little bit about Dylan Brown kind of busted onto the scene tonight.
Well, Dylan's he really has only played basically a game and a half this year because of injuries and some other things that have happened. So, in the one game that he played against Warsaw, he had 3 carries for 80 yards. So we knew that he was special. He's coming off an injury that he suffered week 4. So we were trying to bring him back in pretty slowly, and we tried to ease him into the game, and the first play he scored, so it was all over after that. We knew he had to be on the field, but he's a special talent. He's a kid that brings a different dimension to our team that honestly schools hadn't seen until tonight. So he's only played about 12 offensive snaps before tonight, and he just showed that he's pretty special with the ball.
Obviously, as the head coach of the team, loss doesn't taste great, but you got to be impressed with the fight you guys showed. In any way you look at it, your kids put up a heck of a fight, and you got to be proud to be an Osage Indian.
Oh, absolutely. Love our kids, love our fans, the support we had tonight, and all the people that we had in the stands. So, I'm proud of our guys. I'm happy for them. I'm more than anything, I'm just proud of the character they showed on the field of not giving up and fighting whenever they had a chance to roll over.
All right, we got Osage next week on LakeTV. They're going to be at home for their homecoming. You don't want to miss it. This is head coach Devin Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back on LakeTV with the remainder of this postgame show brought to you by Polylift.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a Polylift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
Power Customs in Gravois Mills manufactures and sells firearms and aftermarket accessories worldwide. Power Customs also offers a state-mandated class in conceal and carry. It is taught by retired LA County Officer Art Tormolen. Art will teach you how to handle your firearm safely, how to load and unload, precautions you need to know in the home and on the street. And you'll be able to actually fire your pistol on Power Customs outdoor shooting range. Power Customs, putting your firearm safety in our hands.
So what's important to you is protection.
It's a new look,
A new location.
but the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family owned. Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln, and Sedalia.
Back here on LakeTV, this is your Polylift post-game show, joined by head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Shannon Jolly. Coach, not the prettiest, but certainly one of the most exciting wins of your tenure.
Yeah, I think when these two teams get together, I think it's always going to be like that. I think Coach Johnson's referenced that this week in his article about when these two teams play. So, obviously, we wouldn't want it to be like that every single time. I don't know if I could take it, but they played a really good second half, and our kids didn't respond exactly like we wanted to. We had some breakdowns in the secondary, but I'm really proud of our kids to get a win like this. This is an emotional win for our kids, and we've been getting better each week, and I think this was a big step for us.
Obviously, you look across your team, you got playmakers everywhere. You know the Trenton Kidwells, you know the Levi Shins, and on the line, you got Bacham, you've got all these kids. But a guy that really stood out to me tonight, not just defensively, but on the onside recovery, was Dale Folsom. What a game he had.
Yeah, most people don't talk about those big guys very much. Dale's a kid. It's an amazing story. He's done some great things, but he's a part of that offensive line, and they take a lot of pride in that. And we talk about that. That's kind of a competitive group on the hands team when they come in there, and those big guys want to be in there, and they want to show that they got some hands. So I guess Dale proved his point a little bit today, and I know Graham Bacham always wants to get in there. And so it was a big play, but there was so many things, like you said, that were big plays. What we're trying to do right now is, like I said, is get all of those football players together as a team and all those playmakers. And, we took one step closer tonight.
Okay, Coach, I'll end on this. Of course, Levi Shin had a huge game, but, the other one, his stepbrother, half-brother, Owen Tam, is an awesome kid. I know he's a spiritual leader. He's the first guy to always congratulate everyone else for doing something. And being a wide receiver on a team that doesn't throw the ball very much, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities. But for him to get the game-sealing interception, that just has to make your heart happy.
Yeah, and we had a couple errors in coverage, so him coming back and making that play, and that's what we talked about, is like, don't worry about the play before, let's go to the next one. But, both those kids, we got some great kids on our team. Owen is a great kid, and Levi as well, and those guys they have a great relationship with each other. So, it's not about me and him, it's about us, and they really have bought into that. So I'm as proud of them about that as I am the plays that they make.
All right, that's head coach Shannon Jolly after the 52-49 victory over the Osage Indians. Coach, we certainly thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you guys for being here.
course. So we're going to be joined by our players of the game after a short break. We're going to have Levi Shin and Owen Tam coming on the booth right after this on the Polylift postgame show.
When that deer in the headlights lands on your hood, you need S&K Customs Auto Body and Collision Center in Versailles. S&K handles everything from dings to fender benders to major collisions to custom work. S&K handles all insurance claims, and our work is backed up with a lifetime guarantee. Got deductible? We pay up to $500 of your deductible. See Steve or Karen for details. We also fill propane tanks, from gas grills to RVs. S&K Auto Body and Collision Center, located right behind Citizens Bank in...
It's a new look.
A new location.
But the same family-owned way of doing business.
Stop by and see our new home.
And discover how we'll go above and beyond to serve you even better.
We're family-owned. Rick Ball Ford, Lincoln, and Sedalia.
If you'd rather make a trip to the dentist, clean out your garage, or have a sit-down with your kid's school principal, then go through the process of buying a new car, you should come to Spielers. Because we think buying a new car should be just as enjoyable as owning it. Visit us in California or online at Spielers.net.
At Spielers Incorporated, you are the one!
Back here at Victor Field, LakeTV Sports, part of your post-game show brought to you by Polylift, and these are your players of the game brought to you by Budget Blinds. Start with the man, 3 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6, had the long touchdown run, had a 43-yard field goal, just all over, huge game. Levi, what was up tonight, man?
It was just team effort, and we all came out together and wanted to beat Osage, and they're a big rival for us, and we definitely had to play big to come out on top to this game.
Man, no die in that team. They fought to the very end. You guys were up early 28-3, later in the game 42-16. I mean, not that you guys thought you had it in the bag, but were you surprised at some of the series of events that took place?
Yes, I was surprised with some of their throwing, and they have a really good quarterback. He's throwing some really good balls, and it was hard to cover sometimes.
That's Levi Shin off a huge game tonight, the starting running back for the Eldon Mustangs. They improved to 4-3, 3-2 in the Tri-County Conference standings. And other Budget Blinds player of the game, the man that ended the game and sealed the victory for his team, Owen Tam. Owen, what an interception. What was going through your mind?
What was going through my mind was just get the ball, keep it out of his hands. Even if he's going to play dirty and try and face mask, just get the ball, seal this win for our team.
Yeah, it looked like he went over your back and tried to play defender, but you were having none of it. Held on to it, and seemed like you guys had some coverage miscues in the second. You to come back and get that pick, that has to just be a big boost for the secondary.
Yeah, it does. It's a really big boost for our secondary. Most of all, our team, actually. Our team played great, but we just need to learn to finish and just push harder in the end.
Well, you guys did finish indeed on your interception. Congratulations to both of you guys on the win. Go have a great week of practice, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Levi Shin, Owen Tam, your Budget Blinds players of the game. On behalf of LakeTV Sports, this has been your Polylift postgame show. The Eldon Mustangs and the 2015 homecoming game defeat the rival Osage Indians by a final score of 52-49. And I'll tell you what, folks, it was an exciting night of football, probably the most exciting football game I've ever got to be a part of. So on behalf of LakeTV Sports, I'm William Holtz. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Friday night.
This Lake TV Game of the Week is brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, Burger Smokehouse in California, Clean Pro Restoration in Eldon, Clark's Tire in Versailles, Sunrise Beach and Camdenton, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Sunrise Beach, Budget Blinds in Laurie, Advantage Marine in Sunrise Beach, Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie, Power Customs in Gravois Mills, S&K Customs in Versailles, and Spielers Incorporated in California.